Hello and welcome back to the second episode of Backseat Friends. I am joined once again by Ryan and Wakey. Adam sadly cannot join us today, so I guess the YouTube commenter was right. I should have bought some friends. But yeah, we brought Todd Howard back again this week because I feel like he needs to point out the degenerates of this week.
Honestly, I can't make it through the week without a bit of Todd.
Can't you?
It's become a problem.
That explains a lot. But yeah, we only have a few degenerates this week, actually. We're not talking very much politics and shit. I mean, unless you want to stick ISIS in as degenerates, but I feel like that's just kind of...
Oh yeah, I mean, that's a given.
It's been said.
Yeah. And I kind of don't want the ISIS flag on the video. I feel like it's going to get me flagged. I feel like that's how you... I feel like that's how you get taken down.
We're up for the monetization now, mate. You know.
I mean, I'm not eligible for monetization.
This is why.
No, the reason I'm not eligible for monetization is because I don't have 1,000 subscribers or 10,000 views yet.
Nah, mate, it's because you keep bringing up ISIS. They've got an agenda.
What? You think, ISIS are conspiring with YouTube? Is that what you're saying?
Look, man, I'm just saying, connect the dots.
Anyway, the reason we're talking about ISIS so much is because of our first topic, and the reason we have a moose in a river. Place your bets what it is now, and we're talking about the shooting in Toronto this week. So yeah, two people have died, and yet again ISIS have claimed responsibility. So I kind of want to talk about that. First of all, what's with ISIS taking all these people's lives? Like, why have we got such a sudden uproar? It's kind of shit, really.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's a pretty objectable comment there. People dying is pretty shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a bit shit, Kyle.
Well, yeah, I mean, totally, yeah. You know me. I mean, why has there been such a sudden uproar now? Like, we haven't seen mass terror in this sense for years, have we? To be honest. Like, all of a sudden, like this last decade, shit seems to have hit the fan.
I mean, there's a lot of high tensions in a lot of places at the moment, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, what's Tumblr saying about this, Wakey? Like,
Truth be told, haven't seen much on ISIS on there in a while. Maybe it's just the circles I follow, though.
To be fair, really been that many attacks in this.
No, in the last year or so, there really hasn't been much news on ISIS.
Okay, so
which makes this a bit more notable, really. That they're claiming.
I mean, they attack about once a year, is what I'm getting, is the general trend. Unless it's in England, in which case they seem to just do 3 all in one go and then just say, right, okay, let's leave it for a bit.
Well, I mean, one thing you got to mention is so far there's actually been no. From what I'm reading, there's been no actual proof that they're linked to the guy that did this in any way.
Never is. That's the point.
Claiming credit.
That's the thing, right? ISIS just go, oh, he's got a bit of a Muslim-sounding name. We can take responsibility without this sounding a bit weird. So they do, even if it's not actually an ISIS sympathizer.
Holy shit! ISIS basically have the same MO as Britain First. He's got a bit of a Muslim-sounding name. Totally a terrorist. Promise, guys.
Well, I mean, they are fundamentally pretty much the same thing, Britain First and ISIS, aren't they?
I don't think Britain First... I mean, I could be wrong. I don't think Britain First have gone around blowing things up.
Well, what's that Britain First member who decided he didn't like his MP, so he shot her?
Oh, never mind, actually, yeah. I forgot about
that. Yeah, that did happen.
That happened, yeah, never mind. Christ, that's quite...
Yeah, and Britain First statement on it was, oh yeah, no, our sense of justice... about this is we think this guy was wrong and therefore we should have him executed. Like, hang on.
That's actually what, like, that's what, like, Islamic State terrorists, I would say.
Well, no, I mean, you look at it and it's like, hang on. That's the exact same sense of justice that he was trying to execute in his vigilante form on Joe Cox.
Jesus.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I had a good laugh about
that. It's disgusting. I mean, like, what day are we recording? Okay, so 2 days ago, one of the identified victims was a 10-year-old aspiring athlete, apparently.
I was getting that a lot when I was looking for info.
Yeah, so it's
Hmm.
still a tragic loss, really, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
That's what it's just a bit shit. Like, what? Are they just targeting our children now? Is that what it is? Like, first we have the Ariana Grande concert, then we have this.
Well, it
Is
gets
this,
what.
is this going to be the new trend? Is what I'm saying.
Well, the whole thing they kind of want from this is to get a lot of publicity and cause a sense of general unease in the public.
Oh yeah, I mean we are
So
kind
going after children is probably the best way to do that for them. They say,
I suppose.
I mean, I don't know
like
if
just
they,
going for the sheer audacity of it.
I mean, I don't know if the attacker himself probably thought, oh, there's children, this is something. It's more a case
Yeah.
of
To be fair,
whenever
I don't know
children
whether
involved,
it was strictly
whenever
attack.
children are involved, it gets overhyped in the media.
Yeah, but what I'm
Not
saying,
trying to be offensive,
yeah,
but you
no,
know,
it does. But if that's the case, or like terrorist cells, not just like ISIS, but like any terrorist cell in general. Because like you look at Boko Haram when they like kidnap the women. Oh wow, this gets massive publicity. Like, are terrorist cells gonna think, oh, actually, this is how we get our name out? Because if so, does it not fall on the media to stop talking so much about it? And if so, how do you talk about it without talking about it?
I mean, I remember a while back there was a whole big thing people were discussing whether the media should be releasing like images and the names of people that commit like mass shootings and
Oh,
stuff
I don't think they should.
because it
but
creates a sort of cult of personality around that
yeah,
person.
well, it's like the Boston bombing.
People want to
Like,
emulate
what
them.
was the one thing that everyone said, oh my god, that's fucked up about the Boston bombing? It was people Googling him saying, oh, Boston bombing, cute. Because they thought he was
Yeah.
pretty.
okay, now.
Yeah, and there was people on like in the jury of his trial who thought he was cute and came down a little bit less harsh on him. I mean, the guy still got sentenced, didn't he? Like, properly, but the fact that so many people thought he was cute, that affected the legal process. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
there is that point to be had. I mean, I'm not in favour of censoring news outlets. I just think they could be a little bit more sensitive about it. I mean, somewhat agreement. And,
Yeah, there's definitely an issue. Like,
I mean, yeah. I just don't. I don't like where we're going with the whole terror. I don't know. Is there something we could do as a society? Do you think? Because, like I say, it seems to be like a yearly occurrence at this point. I am actually shocked as Canada this year, to be fair.
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things I'm not sure, like, what is like a society we really can do, you know?
Because the reason they attack, or at least my logic behind what I believe their reason for attacking is, they hate us with a passion, right? They are taught that we are the enemy by some kind of like, radicalizer, right? And they're taught to hate us. They're taught to hate other Muslims because they aren't true believers. They're infidels, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose one of the few things that really could be done
Can
as
we
a
stop-
society, at least.
Can we stop the radicalization somehow? If so, how?
Yeah, because I mean, there's always these talk about like there are certain things I'm pretty sure that a lot of people that try and radicalize people like sort of latch onto as things to try and convince people of. If you know what I mean? Like they use, I'm sure we've discussed this before, but people they use like Islamophobia in the media and in the public to try and convince Muslims that they are being, unfairly treated and stuff.
It's not like even
To try and
coming
convince
from
them to turn to
right-wing
their
perspective,
side.
I can kind of agree with the media in this. I think Muslims are somewhat prosecuted in the media because of what happens. I mean, you look at
Persecuted.
whatever. I'm not a political science person, am I? Like,
Prosecuted means getting arrested, Kyle.
I mean, they probably are also being prosecuted.
Oh, yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But no, I wonder if this is the case, and if this is the case, is that a thing we should? Is that something we can change as a society? Can we?
Because I mean, it's been sort of a proven thing at this point that people that feel like they're sort of being oxidized, or people that feel like they're sort of being pushed out of general society, tend to be much more vulnerable to radicalizing groups in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's the thing. We've always got the fear that if we just accept them with open arms, right, we're just going to accept the terrorists anyway. So I don't think that's the solution. But we can't.
It's not.
We can't say, oh, we hate you, get out of our country, because that's just wrong. They have a right to be here, right?
Yeah.
Like, in some sense, they have a right, you know? They have a right to a chance of being happy, right?
Yeah.
So can we assimilate them into British values? Like,
Well, I think,
was it
especially when it comes to Britain, the main problem there is actually figuring out what those British values are in the first
Yeah,
place.
it seems everyone seems to have their own every person has their own different opinion on what, like, you know, being British and having British values means.
Okay, do they have a Yorkshire
So they
pudding with a
often-
Sunday dinner? Because if not,
Okay, yeah,
I've got-
fair.
I've
We
got-
we
I've
should
got a
we should
problem.
we should really put that one on the list.
But no, I mean, like, I think it was a Channel 4 survey found out that something like 80% of Muslims don't agree with homosexuality. So that's the thing that's fundamentally against a British value that we have, right?
And at the same time, I mean, there's a lot of Christians that are vehemently anti-homosexuality. So
Yeah, true, but that's more in America. We have like a predominantly atheist population.
Even in Britain, though, you do still get you know, the odd, you know,
yeah, I'm not going to dispute that. But what I'm saying
evangelicals
is
and all that.
In Britain, we are predominantly atheist, right?
Yeah, I think the census suggest. I mean, I'll have to look it up, but I think it's something like 24% of the total population identify as having no overall religion.
No, it's just over half.
Oh, it's
the recent census.
Oh no, is it 24% are Christian?
Yeah, something like that. Like there is a good portion of Christians, and there's an even equally large portion of Muslims as well. Like we have a large portion, but I want to live in a society where we can accept everyone as a neighbour, right? Because they
definitely
have just as much right to be in this country as I do, right? At the end of the day, like, where they're coming from, typically speaking, they're coming as refugees from war zones, right? I think. Ryan would know more than I would on this one. But that just makes some logical sense. So, I'm not being funny, I wouldn't like to be there. Like,
oh, no, definitely.
If that's the case, they should be here, right? They're at least somewhat safe here. But we need to find a way of bringing them here and making them like us.
I mean, I can't help but feel like part of the reason that
and we are a fundamentally unlikable culture.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I can't wonder if part of the reason like statistics like that are so large is because, you know, especially with the refugee crisis and stuff, like the actual, you know, number of Muslims has sort of risen more dramatically recently with people moving in. And I guess sort of, you know, fully immersing in a culture is something that takes a lot of time. And especially things like core values, like, as you said, with, like, you know, beliefs about homosexuality and stuff. That's the kind of thing you don't really start to see a proper change until, like, a generation or so in, when they, you know, been brought up with sort of, you know, and educated more on the subject.
But I mean,
so I can't wonder that's more of a case of just so many of them just not having been here for, you know, as long and not having been brought up the same way that people in this country have, having the same experiences.
Could be. But I mean, this country is, let's be honest, we are, as a culture, extremely xenophobic. Like, before it was the Muslims, it was the Poles, wasn't it?
Yeah, there has been no to this country, don't it?
And my stance on that is, that they come here, they work, they earn, they should be able to do what the fuck they want with that money. Because, like, the old English thing was, oh, they come here, take our jobs, and send it back home. It's like, well, they come here, are more qualified for our jobs, so get our jobs.
The thing is, a lot of the time,
it's like
the jobs that people don't want to do, though. You know, like cherry picking.
It's a two-part thing of them either having better qualifications, or companies knowing that they can get away with undervaluing them because no one else wants the job.
If that's the case, like if it is the second thing, that's messed up. Like,
well, I mean, a lot of times, a lot of companies will undercut. They'll undercut.
Go to Poland. It's
wonderful. But, yeah.
It's a wonderful country.
You often see it with a lot of like sort of manual or menial jobs. Like, you know, let's face it, people that do those jobs don't get paid nearly as much as they really should for the amount of effort involved.
Yeah.
Like labour involved. But those jobs also tend to predominantly go towards, you know, people that immigrating for work and stuff, because they're the people that are most likely to take jobs like that. You know, they don't.
Yeah. To employers as well, migrant workers that, like, you know, of course, Eastern Europeans are the big ones at the moment and have been for a while now. They'll take anything because they want, you know, they need the job, they need something else. A lot of employers will view, you know, national British people as being volatile and likely to join unions, which is always a problem for them.
Is that what you think it is? I mean, aren't union memberships on a massive decline?
They are, but I think union membership has been increasing recently, though. But still, like,
I think it's more to straight the fact that, like, you know,
the last thing
people
they
in
want
this country tend to have more options for what they can go for jobs. Like, if they get stuck with a shitty job, they often have much more of an option to just, you know, quit than someone that is desperately needs that money and needs that job does.
Yeah, and if that's the case, they should have access to some kind of help, right?
Going back to the union thing, just quick, you're saying how union membership has been, like, on the decline.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, as we were just saying, a lot of the generally unionized sectors are becoming more migrant focused. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why.
But if that's
warehouse
the case,
work.
like, for those who don't know, you have to pay to be in the union, but they grant you rights if it's rights, privileges, and just general backing if your work's being a bit of an arse to you, to put it lightly. They will fight your side. Is the general gist of
the case for, like, legal issues and things.
But if that's the case, and they are becoming more immigrant focused, these places that typically have unionized workers, why are the immigrants not in unions?
Well, I think it's. I think
if
one
that's
of
the
the
case,
things
do you think there's potentially an issue with employees not giving them information about their options as well?
I think that could be one of the problems, but I think a lot of it actually comes down to the fact that, you know, especially Eastern Europeans, they've come from a place where, you know, generally they've got nothing, and now it might not be much, but it's something, and they want to hold on to it.
Yeah, true. It's worth noting, though, for everyone, you don't have to be in a union if you work here in the UK. It's just something that you can do. Like, it's one of the jobs that I started at, one of the first things I got was just a package that says, oh, this is the union that we, you know, this is a union you can join. It's just a thing that you're kind of told about. You don't have to join it. I didn't, because I knew I was only going to be there for, like, I think it was 4 months. So I didn't see the point. Because you have to pay to be in them.
Yeah, we're sort of in between, honestly, with some of the more really pro-union countries in Europe, and then, like, America, which is very much anti-union. We're sort of in between.
They still have unions, though, don't
they? Yeah,
I don't know how their unions work, but I know they do definitely have them.
They do have them, but I've heard plenty of, like, stories from people online saying that, like, they're very pressured to not join them and stuff by employers, especially like large companies.
So anyway, somewhat back to the original question. Do you think it is down to us as a society to accept migrant workers and migrants in general more, and do you think that would have a negative, would have a positive effect on the amount of terrorism?
I can't honestly say there'd be a direct correlation. Like, personally, I think you should just be more accepting of, you know, people escaping a bad situation, because that's, like, the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But I do feel that it would at least impact the amount of people that are vulnerable to radicalization in general. Like,
because I'm in somewhat of a sort of middle ground. I think there should be a mixture of both. Take the best from both cultures, like Britain always has been. I think that is a core value of Britain. We take the best of every culture that we've adopted, basically.
Yeah, I mean, like, how much of British culture was actually British in the first place? It's like, tea fucking wasn't.
I say that, right? But I look at roads outside my house and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this has been better under Roman rule. So...
You know, fuck it, we're rejoining the Roman Empire just to fix the roads.
Better roads. But no, like we are a culture of cultures, and that is strictly how writing works. The language is bizarre, to say the least. If you look at sort of more Latin-derived languages, it's worth noting that English is to somewhat of an extent a Latin-derived language, right? We get certain words from Latin. Not
Yeah, but we nick a bunch from like Germanic languages as well,
exactly,
don't we? Like,
exactly.
I was going to say, obviously, there's the thing of English is there's obviously Latin influences, there's Celtic influences,
There's Anglo-English.
But
Well, yeah, Celtic,
there's there's Germanic influences from the Anglo tribe,
yeah.
Scandinavian influences from the Saxons, and then later,
As we discussed last episode.
yeah, I was going to say from the Norse invasions and settlements.
Sorry, as we tangented on the last
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
English is.
if you look at the languages that we are derived from purely, they're nothing like English.
oh yeah.
So like, we are if you look at it from a language perspective alone, we are definitely a culture of cultures. You can clearly see people have been here, people have adopted things, and people have given us things from that.
You know, we're 3 languages in a trench coat, let's face it.
Only 3.
Nothing makes sense and nothing is consistent.
But like, so take Spanish for example. They have proper like, I like to consider it Lego words. So like, you get like a verb and you conjugate a verb. We don't have that in the slightest. We just say a verb.
Yeah.
It's not like different for past, present. I mean, it is, but it's not a strict plug-on and extension. I mean, I'm probably butchering the Spanish language in this sense. It probably isn't just a straight plug-on there.
I mean,
from what I've seen,
English is a weird and flexible enough language, man. Let's face it, like, you can say anything and it can just mean whatever the fuck you want it to.
I mean, that's
Like,
probably the same,
British English, you know, just put ed on the end of, like, any noun and you've got a word for being drunk. In English, like, somebody's used that as slang before.
Oh yeah, like, we have one where we just add, it's my friend's name plus ed. That's how we just that's the specific state of being drunk, though. That is being passed out in a doorway, vomiting into your friends. Sink basin thing.
You know, that'll catch on, that one. It's a common enough experience.
It describes a person who can't handle their liquor at all, yet likes to have drinks. But no, I keep going back to our culture of cultures. Look at our food. We don't say, look at, when you have a Sunday roast, what do you have on it? Meat-wise.
I feel like I've got to say, like, you know, beef, turkey, and chicken.
Yeah, it's usually roast beef.
What does beef
or roast chicken? Cow.
Okay, so where does beef, the word, come from?
Oh.
It's French. For beef.
Oh.
It's French, beef is beef. So the idea was they used French words for...
Yeah, actually, I think that's one of the things that came over from the Normans, isn't it?
Exactly. So they used French words for the things that typically posh people, if you will, would eat. And then things like chicken, turkey, or things that the commoner would eat.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
So there you go, even like into our food. It's alien cultures. So, if that's the case, we should be accepting migrants, not necessarily with open arms, but merging the cultures in some positive way for both sides. Or is it a chance that we are too? And this is going to sound odd. If we are too dissimilar in cultures, if so, what do we do then? Because there are some things that they believe in that are fundamentally against what we believe in, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I disagree with that.
So, just a minute, I have just realised I have a Discord notification. There we go, and yeah, it's putting like the start bar up onto the recording.
Oh no.
So I'm sorry for anyone who's had to witness that and be like, oh my god, reclear your notification. I'm sorry, I just noticed it.
So unprofessional.
I know, right? I mean, it's not going to look that bad, I don't think. I've got some professional looking stuff in there. Like it looks like a student's laptop is what I'm saying. Right? It's not just like random game hotbars. It's like Microsoft Word and shit. So it's not gonna look too bad. All right. I'm gonna look professional. But yeah, what happens if we are two dissimilar cultures? Where do we go from there? Because my ultimate goal is I want less people dying on both sides.
Yeah.
Because there have been attacks against Muslims in this country, right? Look at, was it Finsbury Park Mosque? Where was a radical right-wing person who drove a car into them or something. That there have been on both sides. And I don't want that. But I don't know, are the cultures too dissimilar? That is a fear of mine. And
I mean, most modern, like at least Western European cultures do stem from Catholic culture, which is actually a lot more similar, but of course it's
how it's developed over that
within
time,
the
really,
last-
isn't it?
Yeah,
Everything's
exactly.
going
in the
in
last
different directions.
within the last 2 centuries, we've been devolving, and when I say devolving, I'd say actually evolving is probably the better word, away from Catholic kind of culture.
Yeah.
But I mean, the impacts of it, you still see them all over the place. You still see them quite prominently within society.
yeah, like for example, for a city, one of the criteria for being a chartered city in the UK is you have to have, I think it's a cathedral minimum, isn't it? Like you've got to have like a cathedral-sized church minimum. Even though, again, we are a predominantly atheist society.
Yeah, there's a lot of old holdovers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
mean,
lot of
don't
influence
get me wrong,
from
like
all over.
cathedrals are nice to look at. Like,
Oh yeah, man, you know.
it's nice to just walk through like a city and just have like an old part. I think that's
I mean,
what
I'd rather
Lincoln
look at a
somewhere.
stone circle though, but hey.
What, you think they should require a stone circle
Yeah.
for all them Celtic religions?
Oh yeah, you know. Bring back the old Celtic Revival.
I mean, hey, you know, all these, you know, hard right ringers want England to have its own culture back. Fuck it, stone circles, let's go. You know, cathedrals aren't really British. They've got origins from the continent. No, yeah, they're French. You know, we want stone circles, bring them back. We're going back to the Iron Age, lads.
I do have to say that when I was in Poland, they have honestly they have the nicest looking cathedrals, but they are a religious. What's the word? Not race. It's not race. It's I'll say culture, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
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 But they've been heavily influenced by the Orthodoxy.
Yeah.
Greek
like,
Orthodoxy.
So I went to Wrocław, right? And there's just like this old town section where it's just like this cathedral's in the centre and it's a lovely walk, like with gaslit lanterns and whatnot. Honestly, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful city. You should go. In fact, yeah, like if you look at the city, just like, even on Google Maps, you can see it, right? It's amazing. But they have such a distinctive architecture, and they all match like the church. Even like when you get further into town, like the more modern town, you can see religious influences. Whereas here in England, you don't. A townhouse is a townhouse. And if for all of you who've seen a British townhouse, you know what that look is. It's brick and brick ugliness. And just solely just depression as a building. I think that's a fair way of describing an English townhouse, isn't it?
Depression in architecture form is a pretty accurate comment, honestly.
Yeah. But like, it's not like that on the continent. It's beautiful. Like I went to France once and just going through like the French countryside. It's different. It's not the same. I don't know if that's just because I was going to a different country and, you know, you've got that hype of being in another country, but you're like, oh my god, I'm finally out of England. Yes, thank God. I'm out.
I've escaped.
I mean, we shouldn't say that because people actually risk their lives just to get to this country.
Oh, yeah, I know. We're ungrateful bastards who don't know what we've got.
Yeah,
But,
have my place.
you know, look, if we've got one thing as a culture,
We complain.
complaining about this country.
That's all we do.
It's too rainy, it's too hot,
It's
it's
too hot at the
cold.
moment. As soon as winter comes around, it'll be too cold.
But no, because I like winter, right?
Yeah, winter's defendable,
I
If you're
don't
cold,
mind
you
the
can always
cold.
just put on another jacket. What do you do when
Yeah,
it's too
exactly.
hot?
Yeah, my friend.
You only have so many layers you can remove.
Be out it being a crime. And bear in mind, in England, it is illegal for a man to walk around bare-topped. Because it's deemed as public indecency. So, equality. Equality, boys.
You know what? I didn't actually know that
Yeah,
one.
no, you can't walk around bare-topped. I mean, let's be honest, how many times have you seen a guy walk around bare-topped and you're like, oh my god, will you please put that belly away?
Yeah, it's only ever the people you don't want to see without a shirt on.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, should we move on to our next topic? I think the sentiment from that one is just we need to find a way of accepting, but not. How would you describe it?
I mean, I suppose we need to both be welcoming to new people to the country and so accepting of other cultures, while also maintaining that we do have laws that we've made and things that we've sort of decided on as a culture.
So would you say conservatively liberal? As one of them catch-all phrases that don't really mean anything. But sound
I suppose so. Yeah, it definitely sounds fancy enough.
Our next topic.
I mean, I suppose it's a state of compromise, really. We can welcome other cultures, but we're not willing to throw away everything that we've done as a culture for it.
But it's worth noting that there's some people in this country that are just like, oh my god, how dare they have a mosque? And it's like, you don't complain like when other religions want a place of worship.
Yeah, that's only fair, really.
Like, you don't complain when a Jew wants a synagogue, do you? Like, or is it Sikhs that are... I'm really bad with religion, boys.
No, Jews have a synagogue. Sikhs... I think Sikhs do just have like a temple. Yeah. I think they're just referred to as a temple.
But we don't complain when that's the case, do we? Why is it specifically Muslims?
I think it's mainly just Muslims are the target at the moment.
Yeah, hot topic.
That's depressing.
I think, ever since, 9/11 and the rise of Islamist terrorist attack on the West, it spread, among the generally racist communities. The xenophobic
it's sort of like an unfortunate combination, really, of existing dislike of migrants coming in, and the sort of Islamist terrorist attacks is sort of almost an excuse to prejudice them in particular.
It's worth noting that Wakey isn't defending terrorist attacks.
Oh no, I'm not. That's not what I meant. Don't you guys dare take me out of context on this one?
Yeah, I'm going to say, all you need to do is look at something like the Football Lads Alliance.
What the hell is the Football Lads Alliance?
Okay, no, you've got to explain this one now.
Basically, it's a group of people who claim to just be anti-terrorist football fans, although most of their membership is made up of former ADL members, so...
Oh, that's always a positive, isn't it?
Yeah. They're just trying to disguise their Islamophobia, really.
It's like being in Leeds.
But yeah, no, it is generally just a big racist group, we want to stand up to terrorism, only Islamic terrorism.
I mean, it's not just Islamic terrorism anymore. They are, admittedly, the most predominant. But like I said, we've had the Finsbury Park mosque attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was what's his face in Norway.
Go on. What happened in Norway? I thought Norway were pretty accepting. I thought they were really. Oh, that's.
That was a thing. Oh, it was a while ago. Hang on.
Finland's the one that's notoriously liberal, isn't it? Ryan, you're now our resident fact checker today.
Yeah, hang on. Let me just see if I can get them. Anders Behring Breivik, that's it.
Okay.
So I'm thinking of the Norwegian
Can we just give him a round of applause for being able to say that properly?
I mean, I probably didn't say it right, but yeah. Anders Breivik. yeah, just going off Wikipedia, that's you know,
Most reliable source.
viable news source. No, fact source, even not news source. Yeah, this is back in. Well, his attack was in 2012, but you know, still, convicted. He was convicted of mass murder causing a fatal explosion and terrorism. He shot dead 69 participants of a workers' youth league. So I think he was attacking basically socialists. But
Wait, he was attacking socialists in Norway. Isn't that basically Norway? Oh shit!
yeah, probably.
I think he bit off a bit more than he could chew, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah. Oh God, yeah. Because it was you know, moved by the classic kind of, you know, but cultural Marxism is taking over and we're selling ourselves to Islam. You know, so it was a whole thing of anti-Islamic.
I can see where people come from when they say we're selling ourselves to Islam. I feel like as a country we are too afraid sometimes to stand up to its obvious injustice. I mean, there's injustice on both sides, right? But like, I feel like people are way more accepting to say to white people that's wrong.
Maybe. Of course, there have been issues like obviously Rotherham.
Yeah.
At the same time, there's been issues like Jimmy Savile and.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you don't know about the Jimmy Savile case for whatever reason, like whatever rock you've been living under, and you want a rabbit hole of holy fuck, what the hell happened there? Go for it.
Yeah, man.
Because it should never have been allowed to happen.
Yeah.
Like,
I think we talked about it last week, didn't we?
Probably. It was like 4 hours long.
Yeah, we covered a lot. We covered a lot of stuff, most of which wasn't on the original topic list.
I mean, same here. We are still on the first topic of 7, but I don't want it's the last 4 hours.
Speaking of not on the topic list,
go on.
I was just looking up the this Football Lads Alliance. I found their Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not sure how I should emotionally cope with this, but they're one of their things is ranting about something that's actually happened 2 days ago, just down the road from me, pretty much.
Okay.
I don't know how I should feel about that.
So yeah, there we go. There's a lot of hate in this country, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad. So should we move on to some slightly happier news?
Oh yes, let's have some
Yeah,
happy
let's
news.
have some fun.
A body of water has been found on Mars.
Oh.
Yeah. Shit.
Come on, aliens, please kill us.
I don't know.
We need it.
But,
All this year needs is a good apocalypse. Come on.
I thought, you know what, I'll put this in because this is really, really big news.
Oh yeah, no, scientifically this is massive.
Is this on one of the ice cap in one of the polar regions or
something? I can't quite remember. They say it was it's evidence of an existing lake. I think is how they worded it. Not pre-existing, existing. Again, if this was written by Donald Trump, it could have just been a typo. He'll say in 6 hours that I meant pre-existing.
Yeah.
I shouldn't really mock Donald Trump because it's too easy of a dig, isn't it? To be honest.
Yeah, you know, at this point it almost distracts from the actual criticisms of the guy. It's just too easy to mock
in his defense,
how he does things.
In his defense, he did correct himself. Probably after his advisors went, "You're going to get killed if you don't."
Yeah.
So you are actually siding with the Russians here, sir. You know those people that most Americans don't like. But yeah, no, water's been found on Mars. So I'm interested to what's going to happen in the future, especially with Elon Musk planning like SpaceX trips and shit.
Oh jeez, no. He's gonna call the water a paedophile next.
Yeah. Just seen that one come in.
Or come up with some extremely convoluted, insanely impractical way of getting the water back to Earth.
He's gonna tunnel from the Earth to Mars. Don't question it. He's got the money to do it. No, mate, he's gonna tunnel through the air. Flawless plan.
So you take the piss, but he's probably already got this in like.
Oh yeah, I'm sure like
Probably
his
already
ice
pre-prepped.
notes folder has already like got a full documented thing on how to do it.
What do you think is going to happen
Throw
when he
it some
Mars gets to
in
Mars,
turn.
then?
I kind of hope he's just stuck there.
Hasn't he already put a car on there?
He launched a
No.
car into space for no real reason.
Yeah, no, it's just orbiting Earth, though, isn't it?
That is why.
Well, what was it? He got stuck in traffic, came up with a really not that good idea for a new form of public transport, then started selling merch of the company he made to create this thing, then got bored of selling merch and started selling flamethrowers branded with this thing, and then he just launched a car into space.
Elon
And that was
Musk is a
just
very
another month.
interesting character.
Yeah.
Obviously, he bought out
Another
Tesla.
month for Elon Musk there, really, isn't it?
Gonna say, obviously, he bought out Tesla, didn't he? Or
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he bought
To
Tesla.
be fair, the Tesla car is good.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Ryan, I think your headset's messed up again.
Oh, yeah, we're getting that thing again. We're getting feedback.
Is that better?
Boom.
Yeah, that's
I
better.
don't know why it does that, and also why
Why
leaving
is it so
fixes
random?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wonder if it's like a feedback loop or something.
Yeah, but then
Might
why is it only like after he's been in the call for like
Because
half an hour?
once you're hung up, that's it. There's nothing in the queue anymore. There's nothing for the
Yeah.
audio to play. I don't know.
I won't
If
pretend I
there's
paid
any
like- I
computer
won't-
scientists in the chat, maybe they could help explain.
I won't pretend I paid attention during electronics.
If
I'm gonna
there's
say
any
there's a computer science in the room. Well, you know, in this chat right
Look, man,
now.
all I took from my A-level electronics was that my teacher looked a bit like the sous chef from Ratatouille. You know the bit that killed a guy
And
with his
what about your
thumb?
first year at uni?
Oh my
Well,
god.
What did you get from uni?
Well,
I've learned
I'm
a lot of
sorry,
things, not
I'm
many of
gonna
them
have
relevant to
I'm gonna
topic.
have to get that up. So first of all, I want to stick like a few images up, boys. Let's just get Mars as an image up because like I've already got this.
Oh yeah, it's relevant, you know.
Obviously, yeah, Mars is definitely
Yeah,
relevant.
you know.
I would definitely agree there, but I kind of want a picture of. Let's not put it in the degenerate corner because Mars is not degenerate. Mars is awesome. I want. What was that chef's name? Or should I just get like a picture of Remy?
I'll see if I can find his name. I can't remember what the fuck he was called now.
I just feel like I want Ratatouille, dude. In here because he's just pretty to look at, isn't he? He's just a bit funny. Movie.
Kyle, you feeling okay there? He's a bit pretty to look at.
Oh, clearly attracted to a rat, boys. What are you on about?
Oh no, Cal's a furry. It's revealed.
Oh god, right. Let's find labeled for reuse. Oh, let's really not do that.
Oh, I found out his
Wait,
name.
did you accidentally find a furry page?
No. I mean, like, I can't find a picture of like Remy. That isn't
Yo, I
copyright.
found out the
Oh.
dude's name. It was Horst.
Oh wow. So what I'm gonna do, right, is I'm gonna
Yeah.
to this Flickr person here, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Based what my electronics teacher vaguely
download
looked
this
like.
image, right? Put it there, right? And we're just gonna stick a proper Ratatouille on, like actual Ratatouille.
Yeah, just actual Ratatouille. You know, it works, man. You know, we're
Yeah.
dodging that copyright.
Yeah, I mean,
Fake.
so let's just
Fake.
grab the link of this place. Continue talking, boys. Continue talking. I'm just grabbing the image, like the thing.
We don't. I've forgotten what the original topic was. Oh, that's right. War on Mars.
So
I mean,
how long
I
have
think
you
you know,
it's
Ratatouille
been
on
known
Mars?
about. I think it's been known about ice being in the polar regions on Mars for a bit.
Yeah.
I thought it
and
wasn't.
and they've had.
I thought in the poles it's frozen methane.
Well, they've had a lot of proof that there's been flowing liquid on the surface. They've just never found any like that still exists.
Yeah.
They seem they've been trying plenty of proof that it was there at some point, and they say that they're pretty sure that there's some like underneath the frozen areas.
Right. Okay. So that's pretty good news then, actually. That makes it a little bit easier to colonize, doesn't it? Surely, if there's water there, we don't have to. take it.
Well, no, I mean not just that, but like if there's water existing
So
somewhere, then
potential
it
life.
gives the potential for life. Yeah,
Even
which
if it's
is
just bacteria.
fucking massive. Like.
Yeah. No, I mean, what a time to be a scientist, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not going to be anything in my field. Like, I'm much prefer like pharmaceuticals and stuff. Still.
Hey, you know, come
If
on.
I can get like an alien bacteria, I'm not saying I'm not. I'm gonna say no to it. You know what I mean? Like,
You know, we're the sort of generation that's going to live through one of two potential like world shattering events. It's either going to be
either
aliens
nuclear
or World War
bombs.
Three. Yeah. Yes, like, everyone was predicting this. It was either going to be like advanced space travel, or aliens, or World War Three. I guess it's kind of obvious what I'm hoping for here, and it's the option that doesn't involve us all dying.
So World War Three, yeah. To be fair though, I don't think we're. I think we're probably okay on the World War Three scale. I think the Trump North Korea thing is settled over. Nothing seems to be happening out of Iran with Trump.
Just as long as like the rest of
out of the UK and Russia. Nothing seems to be happening outside the UK and the US and Russia. And people really do want things to happen outside of the US and Russia, but nothing seems to be happening. You notice how I'm saying US a lot?
Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe spending the last like good century just sticking your dick in random shit and then fucking with other people's countries
Do you know what's interesting?
hasn't led to the most pleasant global climate.
Do you know what's interesting? Do you know how America, like, what the legal requirement is for America to be able to like claim their land as their own?
Oh boy.
Go for it. Have a guess. Any guess?
Their government says it's theirs, so it's theirs.
Close.
Oh, it's Manifest Destiny, isn't it?
Please tell me that's not actually still a thing.
No, it's really not. But basically,
No,
if
it's
there is
not. It's just back.
if there is bird shit on an island that is unclaimed, they're allowed to claim it according to their law.
Oh.
No idea why. I don't know what bird shit it is, but it's a very specific type of bird.
I'd be like.
I can only imagine that this
Bald
was
eagle.
written into law for a very specific scenario in which they wanted a piece of land. But now it's just a precedent that exists.
Yeah, it's like, so the world, to America, why do you want this land with bird shit on it?
No, man, that's what they're going to be doing next, right? That's what Musk is sending up next, not a car. He's going to send up some bird shit to Mars. The US now owns Mars. That's how it works.
Will Elon Musk let America be on Mars, or do you think he's going to keep it as like a private planet?
Okay, I'll be blunt. If there's one thing I've learned about America in the last few years, it's that if you have a big enough company, you basically own it. Like, it wasn't that long ago that Amazon was making various large cities fight over who gets to have a factory in it.
Oh my god. Also, there's America's new Space Force, boys. So let's take it.
Yeah, you know, Puerto Rico still doesn't have power, but damn if we won't protect ourselves from those aliens that totally exist.
Yeah, can we give some love to Puerto Rico here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
man.
feel like they're a little bit marginalised by America.
Oh,
I mean, they're technically part of America, but
getting
only
a
when
Puerto
it doesn't
Rican
benefit them.
I'm going to throw up a Puerto Rican flag, boys.
Yeah, man.
I mean, the
It's
Puerto
like-
Rican flag is purposely designed to look very much like the Cuban one as well.
Yeah, you aren't kidding here. Jesus Christ, this is... Wow.
Mm.
Very close.
Yeah, because aren't they one of those things that like it's U.S. territory, but it's not a state, so
Yeah,
they're
it's a
forced to do what the U.S.
US
tells them to do, but they don't get the benefits of actually being part of it fully, whatever.
Yeah,
Really
something like that.
Yeah, it's classed. I think it's classed as like an overseas territory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's that town in America that hasn't had clean water for the last like 4 years.
Let's see. How to translate that is it's a modern colonial state.
Yeah, no, Flint, Michigan's not had any
Yeah,
clean water.
still got lead in the water, you know?
Yeah, you gotta love Flint. Like, how have they not sorted this out yet?
Like, they sorted out clean water sources, like the car factory, within the first like 2 weeks, and for the rest of it, it's just been, nah, get fucked.
Yeah, exactly. Where is it? So I'm just throwing up Puerto Rico. There we go, we've got a flag of Puerto Rico. And Ryan, you might a bit. Yeah. I should probably just have kicking him macroed.
Yeah. Just a...
So, I mean, actually, I'm going to move the flag of Puerto Rico because it looks like ratatouille is Puerto Rican food. You kind of got to love that, but it's not true.
Yeah.
Guys.
Oh wow, this article from Nat Geo on the Mars ice thing
Yeah.
has given me two of my favourite quotes I've seen in a while.
Go on.
Mars is going to fear my botany powers. and we're going to have to science the shit out of this.
Tagline of the episode: we're gonna have to science the shit out of this episode.
The article won't tell me who said this, but whoever they are, legend.
I'm not kidding. That is the tagline now.
Oh dear.
Hey, you gotta find a tagline
Also,
somehow.
you are not allowed to not be on these episodes now because every title of these episodes come from you. I mean, I know the sample size is very small.
I just can't leave now. It's part of the contract.
No, you contracted in, boys. So yeah, water on Mars, huge scientific discovery. Hooray! This is pretty fucking cool, right?
Yeah, man.
Scary for what Elon Musk's gonna do. It's like he's the closest, isn't he?
Come on, somebody guillotine him.
He is not advocating for the murder of Elon Musk. Please let the record show.
No,
this.
yeah, this is not an endorsement on the part of this channel or this show. My views do not reflect the views of anything I'm affiliated with.
You gotta say, I think I might have to find a review, Tom. But
Jesus. He has his uses. He makes interesting shit that just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, he came.
you know what he's saying? Instead of guillotining him, just gulag him.
Wow. I mean, if there's ever a communist thing to do, right? But no, he came up with the first reusable rocket, didn't he? Like, do that double somersault.
He did.
Thing.
But
didn't
he? Yeah, he did. But didn't he use it to send a car into space?
That's not the point.
Like the dude's companies have made some pretty impressive scientific breakthroughs, but have any of them been put to a single practical use?
That's not the point. Right, moving on very swiftly before we.
I'm gonna say, 'cause I mean, he patents them, so nobody can actually use them.
Let's move on before we shitpost Elon Musk.
Okay. Yeah, man. Oh, have you heard? If you name your Twitter Elon Musk, you'll get banned. Like, if you change your handle, it's actually a quicker way to close your account because it takes less steps.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So, the next topic we have is the new Netflix show, is it Insatiable? It's being called Fatphobic. And I kind of want to talk about the general fat acceptance movement. Like, what the fuck is
Yeah, I actually looked up the trailer for this one to try and see what all the fuss was about it.
Just out of sheer curiosity and the fact that it's made by Netflix, and I kind of want to get my money's worth, I will probably watch it. Just throwing a picture of, is it Debbie Ryan who's the lead?
Yeah, Debbie Ryan.
Let's just throw a picture of Debbie Ryan up just so people know who we're talking about. Yeah, so there we go. This is apparently fatphobic for all those people who couldn't see the image. If not, we'll describe it. It's Debbie Ryan in a fat suit.
Yeah.
Is it Debbie
I
Ryan
mean,
in a fat suit?
to be honest, yeah. No, it's her in a fat suit.
That's what I thought, yeah, okay.
There's been a lot of talk about this one because like all we have to go on so far is like a minute and a half trailer.
Something like that.
That's it. That's the only thing we know about it.
I've seen the trailer. The only thing that I think is mildly offensive, but even then I kind of think it's a bit funny, it's more humorous, is they say, whoa, this character got hot all of a sudden.
Like, I think that's the big thing it's getting criticised for, because it's replaying that old, tired, everyone kind of hates it now trope of, oh, look at this, the fat girl from this high school drama suddenly got thin, and everything in their life is better, and they're beautiful now. Just automatically.
Do you think it's healthy for the fat acceptance movement to be a thing?
I mean, it really depends how we're looking at it.
Transparency, I am not the thinnest person here. I am definitely the fattest.
Like, I think I can definitely agree with. I can definitely agree with a large part of the whole body positivity movement type thing. Like, you know,
okay,
if it's
I'm not talking about body positivity. I am pretty much as far as
specifically just with.
With them. But for those who don't know the difference, the body positivity movement is essentially people who are slightly larger but aren't unhealthily obese. Like, just they're not unhealthy, they're just not stick thin. If that makes sense, it's bringing to light that those people aren't unhealthy.
Yeah, I mean, there is issues with.
I'm okay with them.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, that's fine. Just because you're big doesn't mean that you're not attractive. But what I'm talking about is the fat acceptance, where people are talking, where people are talking about like massively obese people, and like, oh my god, health is a societal construct.
I mean, I definitely disagree with the idea that health is just a societally defined thing. I think at this point we have enough medical proof to say like roughly where the sort of cut-off point is for when it's actually an impact on your daily life.
You mean, is it the point where your back starts giving out, or the point where like your kidneys start shutting down from the amount of glucose in your blood, or when your pancreas can't produce enough insulin, or when your head's just fucked from the amount of sugar you're on, or...
But I guess at the same time you do see a lot of things where people are sort of, they're not anywhere near the point where it's actually a medical detriment, but they still get treated like shit for it.
The reason I like this is the reason I like the body positivity movement. So they're pretty much in favour of getting rid of airbrushing, which
I
don't see the point in airbrushing.
Like realistic standards for people, especially like people of an impressionable age, is definitely something that needs to be brought forward.
I think the one person I follow on Instagram that's body positive is Carrie Hope Fletcher. But, like, if you look at her Instagram, she's not. Do you know who she is? Like,
never heard of her.
Google her
Don't
name.
use Instagram.
Just Google her name. She's a YouTuber. She's Tom Fletcher's brother. That McFly McBusted or whatever his name is. That bloke. Her sister. No, his sister. Sorry. But yeah, like she isn't conventionally attractive, if you know what I mean. Like she's not stick thin. But I would definitely not call her up. And that's what the positive was.
Wait, what was her name?
Carrie Hope Fletcher.
I mean, I'm looking at pictures of her now, and she doesn't appear in any way what I'd call overweight at all. She just looks like a regularly proportioned person.
Yeah, and that's what the body positivity movement's about.
Hmm.
Like, it's healthy lifestyle, but also some people are just a little bit bigger, which is fine. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure that in theory those people could, but at the end of the day, Carrie is a bloody musical theatre singer. If anyone's getting enough exercise, it's her, right? So
I guess the way I sort of view it is like if it's not actually a detriment to like your medical health or your safety, then there really isn't much of a reason for people to be like to have to feel bad about their weight. It should be down to personal preference until the point where it becomes like actually an impact on their health.
Yeah. So here in the UK, if you are overweight, as far as I'm aware, you can get help from the doctors to help you lose weight. So that could be in form of like dietary packs, nutritional advice.
I think a lot of them recommend
a bypass surgery, not gastric bypass. The band.
I think the first course of action that's generally recommended is joining something like Weight Watchers or Slimming World or one of them groups.
Or other affiliate, other weight loss services are available in the UK. These are just
we're not the BBC, are we?
Hashtag not spawn. But no, yeah. So that's the general first step. Join a weight loss program. And I think that's good. But what the fat acceptance movement, they probably have a name. I just know them as the fat acceptance movement, right?
I think it's the extremist.
Yeah.
It's almost the extremist side of body positivity, isn't it?
Yeah. So they think that being fat is a health construct. It is a societal construct. Sorry. There is no medical evidence to suggest that being overweight or being obese, as like basically all of them are, is bad. There's no medical evidence for that.
Oh boy.
Illness is basically just a societal construct. What I think it is. I think it is a severe form of depression, like to the point where you're starting to be delusional. Which, by the way, coincidentally can be caused by being obese. But yeah, it's almost like it's gone full circle.
Well, I think a lot. Well, I mean, I'm guessing this generally stems from America.
I don't know. I've seen it from all over the world. It probably is just
because
sheer numbers.
It's a thing that's it's a thing that it exists in other cultures, but it's most predominant in American culture, where people have been raised on the kind of view of, oh, you are special, you are always right, you can never be wrong.
I mean,
You
you
know,
say
it's
that,
like
right?
wild shit.
We get that
You know,
over
people
here.
have been
You're talking
raised
about
with
like
wild shit.
participation medals and stuff, right?
Yeah. So of
we
course,
get-
you know,
did you go
it's
to
that kind
primary
of,
school?
it's that kind of, I mean, I'll call it the extreme liberal kind of attitude. You know, again,
I mean,
it comes down to
we
the
have that
spoiled
over
shit
here, though,
thing.
Ryan. Like, what I mean is, so when I went to primary school, everyone got a congratulation, like, oh my god, you did so well here. Have like I think it was like a participation
Yeah.
mini trophy thing.
But I mean, you know,
Holy
it's like
crap!
that. You know,
I came
it's
dead
better
last.
than that.
Why are you why are you like celebrating me? It's like, I know I'm unhealthy. I don't need a participation medal. I did shit. And it just, I think it generally devalues achievement. So like my secondary school had a saying where it was celebrate achievements. So anything that you're good at, celebrate that. As opposed to make everyone like, oh my god, you did so well, even though you just participated, right? Which I think is the better option, right? Because everyone's done something good. Everyone, no matter who you are, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's my general brains, or at least it was in secondary school. I'm not that smart now, to be honest. And my black belt. That was my accomplishment in like secondary school and sixth form. Like, what was it for you guys? Self-reflection time.
Oof.
You had something, sure.
I'll be honest, the only thing that's coming up is that one time I got 100% attendance in primary.
Hooray.
That's good. That's something employees.
I slept through too many just straight up days of A level to get that again.
I wish, like, I keep getting messages on Discord and it's not good. It's annoying the shit out of me.
Oh, which channel is it?
It's a private message.
Oh.
So it's not even like I can show it because it'll show like on the sidebar
Just
who
mute
I'm
them.
talking to. How do you mute it? Like right click mute? Is that an option?
Yeah, that's an option. It should be anyway. I'm not sure it's private. I know it's
can't-
added to the channels in
Can
here.
I, like, oh shit.
Is it a certain person we were talking about before they
No,
start?
it's not.
No, that was on Facebook.
No,
man.
it's one of the mods of this server.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't know how to change the mute. So yeah, this is fun. Yay. I've just accidentally revealed their name, but it's fine because they are actually a mod in the server, so it's like, you know.
It's fun. You know, they were gonna.
Not dox them. It's fine.
You guys should totally
Their
dox them.
Discord name or their actual name?
The Discord name. It's
I'm
fine.
guessing Hatter then.
Possibly, yes.
I mean, he was spamming one of the other server channels earlier. So
I mean, I've got my phone muted, so I
Oh,
have
yeah.
no clue what's going on.
Sorry, I was spamming.
Anyway,
I
let's
had to mute a couple of the photos.
Let's get back from side questing, like digressing and side questing. Like, on that note though, can we just like give a commiserations to Ronnie Edwards, who's committed suicide a few weeks ago? Ronnie Edwards, the editor for Game Theory, has committed suicide.
Oh shit! I did not know about this.
Yeah, it just came out the other day. Like Matt made a video on it. It's like he passed away a couple of weeks ago, but they wanted to like get approval from his family before they said anything online. Which, like, yeah, I 100%.
Oh shit!
But no,
Yeah, no, that's pretty damn respectful. I kind of not really watched the Game Theorists in a good year or two, so I've missed this completely.
Yeah, I think it was like the other day he uploaded it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Sure.
rest in peace. It's kind of sad, really, but yeah.
Yeah.
Back to fat phobia, because we can take the piss
Yes.
out of that, right?
I mean, I've got to say, I've looked at the like, especially on this example we were talking about with insatiable. I've looked at this.
I don't see any offence.
I mean,
I don't see any comment either, for the record. I'm probably going to watch it because I watch every Netflix original.
I can understand people's concerns about it. We haven't seen enough of how the show is going to portray what happens.
No.
We've seen a 2-minute trailer. We don't know enough about how they're going to portray the health consequences of someone losing weight in like 3 months.
I don't think they will.
No, and that's what I think a lot of people are annoyed about, because it's just going to be one of those stories where, oh, look at that, the fat girl, you know, lost a load of weight and suddenly she can fix all her problems and she's pretty and everyone likes her.
I mean, let's be honest, it's still like... It's the most overused trope, isn't it? To be honest.
Yeah, which is
Yeah,
why a lot of people tend to complain about it, because let's face it,
Who's the
it's a
mic
pretty
tonight?
shitty trope.
Is that Ryan or you?
That's Tom.
Oh shit, is that me? What's
No, you're
up?
fine again. You're fine.
Is it
Yeah,
just...
no, it's all
I
good.
think you just decided to eat a magnet.
Oh shit, how much of that did
Yeah.
you miss?
We didn't miss any of it, but it's just like.
Yeah,
not
right.
Right. Very sorry about that. I think it's a new mic, it must be having some issues.
Teething issues, boys. Teething issues.
Let's hope.
Do you see any reason for the show to be taken down from the trailer that you've seen?
From the trailer, I'd say
bear
no.
bear in mind, this guy is from Tumblr. He is our Tumblr consultant for a reason.
Yeah, man, I'm totally hip with all the kids.
Don't say that.
I think that was part of a joke, to be fair.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, but he's in uni. He shouldn't say that.
What is it? So from the trailer, I'd honestly say no. If it is any worse than the trailer implies it could potentially be when it actually comes out, I could understand there being enough outrage about it. But as it currently stands, the trailer isn't enough to go on.
Okay. I'm in agreement.
Apparently, one of the I think writers for it or something has come out saying it's actually partially inspired by their own experiences.
They always
As
are.
someone, they always, yes, there's a lot of that, but I can understand why people are annoyed about it, but at the same time, I don't think it's quite deserves the reaction it's got.
See, I am somewhat terrified by the whole fat acceptance movement because being fat is not healthy. Let's draw a line in the sand here. It's not healthy. You may think I'm being mean, ungrateful, not grateful. I may be mean and just some other word that I am, a bastard. But no, once you get to a certain point, you are really putting yourself at risk. And
I think there's...
you are a burden to the society because you are essentially using more money on the NHS than a person who is of normal weight is. Don't get me wrong, normal people of normal weight can be unhealthy. You are just at a more likely risk.
I mean, I kind of dislike the use of the phrase burden on society just because there's a lot of different
I
reasons
don't mean this in like a horrible sense. I mean
dangerously obese.
I mean in a sheer factual standpoint from an economic point of view.
Yeah.
More money is being used on a fat person than a healthy person.
I think really the entire reason it's all sort of boiled over with this is because there is still this massive running trend in media. There's honestly very little representation ever that's positive of fat women and girls, like people that are overweight for like more more overweight than the average person, especially in like film media where the average person in a film is drastically thinner than the average person in real life.
Do not get me wrong.
Well,
I am
just
not saying
some
you
kind
should
of
insult fat people.
bro.
They are human
No.
too.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like it's
nice
just
to them and
when
supportive.
I feel like at this point it's just sort of that people are sick of the only representation of fat girls being either comedy tropes, negative examples of what you shouldn't be, or some character's tragic backstory. Which, let's face it, the main character of Insatiable, from what we've seen in the trailer,
It is a tragic backstory.
Yeah, her being fat is supposed to be the thing you're supposed to think is so bad, and that her getting her jaw wired shut for 3 months is the good thing, and that's a great thing for her.
I mean, it probably isn't. She's probably going to have refeeding syndrome, but
yeah, and that's why people are saying if the show doesn't cover the fact that there's she had an eating disorder and then forcibly essentially starved.
Dear Netflix, please have a plot point that she's suffering from refeeding syndrome. Please, I want this to be a thing. I mean, it'd be the darkest Netflix show going,
to be fair, the show is sort of, from what we've seen in the trailer, sort of a twist on the old, fat girl becomes thin and thus super popular trope. But in that she appears to have some kind of serious issue and, goes around assaulting and potentially even torturing people. It's not clear. The trailer shows at one point her attempting to light someone on fire. Take of that what you will.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those deconstructions.
I actually
potentially,
want to see this now.
I think.
I want to see this. I will hold off on any judgment until I see this. it could actually genuinely be fatphobic in the sense that all it does is insult fat people, and that isn't constructive.
Yeah, I think it's just a
Like,
case of
insulting
time
a
will
fat
tell
person isn't
as
going
to
to
how
make
the
them want to lose
show.
weight.
Yeah, it's just going to make them feel bad about themselves,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
often can just further complicate an eating disorder they have or an emotional disorder they have that causes them to gain weight.
Okay, on a serious note, I am a fat person. I will talk from experience here, right? If you want to support a fat person, why not offer to go to the gym as their gym buddy? You could do with going to the gym. Going to the gym isn't the worst thing in the world. I understand that this isn't necessarily for everyone because A, gyms are bloody expensive, and B, exercise is pretty boring. Let's be honest, like, it's not that interesting.
Depends.
However, join a
Depending on
sport
what
together.
you're doing, exercise can be fun.
I mean, like going to the gym, it's not that interesting.
Oh yeah, I mean
Like,
the gym's.
I mean,
gyms
when I say
are shit.
exercise, I mean strictly going to the gym. What you could do instead
yeah.
is say, do you know what? Should we start badminton or something? And if they're like, oh no, it's like, well, what sport do you enjoy watching on TV? And if they're like, oh, I enjoy tennis. I'm like, well, let's do tennis. And this could be a way you support a fat person. Like, there's no reason you have to stop being friends with them. That is what I consider to be fatphobia. Being actually afraid of being a friend of a fat person.
Yeah.
Mm.
But that's not what people these days say is fatphobia, is it? Let's be honest. But no, you should be supportive of your friends if you consider yourself to be a true friend of someone, at least. I'd like to think that these guys, if I ever got to a point where I was like, you know, had my own effective gravitational field, like to pull apples and stuff, they would probably say, Kyle, you need to like lose some weight. I would hope. Could be wrong.
We probably would. Probably.
I mean, look, man. If I know the society as a whole, it would just be constant recreations of that guy who went to a magic tournament and did all those pictures.
Oh god. Oh.
Or a recreation of the oh god, what's it called? That guy from Make Love Not Warcraft and stuff in South Park.
Oh, did you hear that? Hear about that guy actually? He
lost weight.
finally waited out his ban he got from official Magic events, and then went back and did it again.
That's great. Holy crap. But yeah, the overall thing I want to say from this is be supportive of your friends. Don't say fat phobia is a thing. It's kind of not. Hold off on judgment until you've actually seen this show. Your petitions are not going to stop this from being taken down. Netflix makes too much money. So the next one is going still off on health. Demi Lovato's overdose on heroin.
Famous person takes heroin and ODs, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is so sad." Non-famous person takes heroin and ODs. Oh, this is a scumbag. He should be off the streets. Put him in an asylum.
To be fair, I
Yep.
am the type of person who is in favour of helping both. Alright?
Yeah, like
Because-
addiction
yeah,
is a serious problem.
I'm just pointing out the general cultural
Oh yeah.
hypocrisy that there's been with this.
It's like I do chemistry. It would be stupid of me to say that. Oh my god, they're disgusting. Get them off the streets. Like,
Yeah,
it's a problem they have.
Yeah.
We should help deal with it.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
That needs to be
I mean,
helped.
to be honest,
Just
I
point out the cultural
reckon
hypocrisy.
I reckon what they really need to is like, you know, some help with trying to, you know, get over this relapse, and not like every two-rate news publication going on a big article about oh she's back on the heroin again.
I don't. I don't know.
Like,
That's the thing. She's had
yeah.
relapses before, hasn't she? Like, this isn't her first relapse. I don't think.
No, which I mean, I guess just like addiction is like a really hard thing to get over.
Yeah.
Like even when you've got like, you know,
I mean,
all the resources
Don't get me
and
wrong. Like,
stuff.
on the off chance that Demi ever sees this, seriously, take your time, get well, and just like fight through it. It's not an easy thing to deal with. But like, I'd say that to anyone. Like, it's not a good drug. It is dangerous. It's nasty. Like, they call them 12 days in prison for a reason.
I mean, you honestly do see it quite a lot with a lot of celebrities, to be honest, like drug issues like this. And I guess it sort of just comes from like the sort of stress of the profession.
Maybe.
And how public everything is. Like, it can just lead to like developing issues like this.
And again, there was a thing, I think it's earlier this year with Katie Hopkins ODing on Ket.
Oh dear God.
You know what? If I had to
just
name a
absolute
drug, I
class.
can imagine Katie Hopkins ODing on. I think Ket would just sort of fit.
If the
And
creators of
Harsh
Cards Against
probably
Humanity
songs,
are
I just
watching this,
thought
will
the
you
whole
please make
story
us
was
a
class.
card?
And I've just realised I was not making a joke about it being horse tranquilizer. I just mean it sounds like the kind of thing that she'd do.
But Backstreet's thinking ketamine is an actual big problem. Like,
Yeah.
It's the thing.
You know, that's what I mean. It's like the quintessential British hard drug there.
Whereas, like, I think heroin and coke are a very Hollywood drug, aren't they?
Yeah.
Which is
Oh,
funny,
yeah,
because I don't
so-
think heroin actually goes for that much on the street, does it? Like, per ounce, it's not that expensive, is it?
I wouldn't know, mate.
Gonna say, couldn't really tell you there.
Yeah,
I
live in a little village, mate. I don't exactly know the average street price of heroin.
I could probably crack open one of my drugs reviews module, like, lectures, and it'll probably be on there somewhere, but I don't think it's that expensive. I think that was the thing, like, because it's cheaper than Oxycontin in
Fuck it,
America.
I'm probably gonna watch this anyway. Let's Google this.
So, it's cheaper than Oxycontin in America, so what happens is when people can't afford Oxycontin, they go to heroin, because it's basically the same. It's like heroin with an extra functional route, that's it. It's just as addictive.
Sick. Let's find out what heroin.net has to say.
Oh dear God, that's gonna give you adware.
Family block is turned on.
Please tell me you are in private, because I don't think you're really gonna want like adverts for methadone, dear, like methadone treatment.
No, it's fine, man. It's fine. It's actually mostly about addictions, and it's like mostly about like questions and answers about addiction and treatment.
Would you say it is a neutral party?
Yeah, I'd probably say it's more one of those recovery websites that also has an article about how much it costs for some fucking reason.
Oh, okay, stick it in the link. I'll probably stick it in the
I
description.
don't know. You can judge for yourself how good of a quality it is. I just
Oh shit!
pressed the wrong.
I don't have it macro. Just that wasn't me. Also, I've just realised I've done this without throwing a picture of Demi. I actually downloaded an image of Demi because there are.
Okay, according to this website, it is roughly 15 to 20 for a gram in Ohio.
What,
Don't know how
dollars?
much it is for the UK. Yeah.
Well, $15 to $20.
Yeah. That's not bad actually. That is actually cheaper than Oxy. By quite a similar amount.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm just moving Debbie so Demi can like just sit there. There we go.
Oh well, yeah. There's another one of these drug awareness websites that lists it as being £10 in the UK, which marks it as the cheapest on their list outside of diazepam and something else that I can't pronounce.
Diazepam is cheaper than heroin.
Per pill.
But diazepam is only given by prescription.
Fuck if I know. That one is from a survey from 2012.
Oh,
so.
Okay. So it could be a bit out of date. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
It's taught me now that I probably shouldn't be listing off the drugs that are cheaper to get than heroin.
We do not condone. We do not recommend drug use.
We can't recommend hard drug use. No.
We might one day do like a topic about drugs and drugs only, but I don't think today is the day for that. Not nearly enough alcohol has been consumed.
Yeah, man. You know what better way to talk about drugs than to be on the legal kind of drugs?
Oh no! I would definitely make a point about that. Alcohol, is pretty fucking bad.
Yeah, we're gonna say.
On the grand scale of things, that cirrhosis of the liver is pretty dangerous.
Yeah, just a bit. Yeah, I mean, it's like comparing, let's say, alcohol that's legal to cannabis.
Dead singer who died of alcohol poisoning, and like looking at the liver of his. I think it was the Grateful Dead.
Could be. Not that upset on me celebrities.
I don't think.
I know there's that thing. I know there's that thing a while ago of that Irish football player ex-football player who had to get like 3 liver transplants because he kept ruining them.
3.
I think is it 2 or 3, but
Jesus Christ.
we're talking a good few years ago now, because I think it came up when I was doing like religious studies at A level, and it was like kind of the ethical questions, and it was used as a good example of it or something. But
Yeah.
I think it might have been from the 90s or something. But and a lot of questions got raised at the time over should he get a liver?
No, he shouldn't. No, there's no question there. No, he really shouldn't. That's a liver that could be used for someone else.
Yeah, of course, that was the argument. I mean, what the other side of it was, he's a person, he deserves the chance as much as others.
Given the chance.
That was just, yeah.
Twice,
I mean, of course,
if what you're saying is right.
You say, yeah, I know. That's the side I honestly take on it. He'd blown his chance.
But back to the serious notes. Not insulting footballers who just can't keep hold of liver. Good luck to Demi. I think would be a good sentiment for this. Take your time. Don't rush it. And just try and stay away from the shit again. You don't need it. You don't need it. It's wrong.
And
there are other things.
At the same time, though, fuck you, media that have been making this seem like that have been dealing with this in such a way of. I mean, the media is essentially acting as if it's a very normal thing that she's OD'd on heroin, when at the same time they talk about someone who isn't famous, and isn't rich, doing anything like heroin, it's.
I mean, it's like I think we pointed out that heroin is not an expensive drug to get. Like it is a commoner's drug. So this isn't a problem of celebrities like having shitloads of money. This isn't a problem of them having access to it. This is a problem of the media acting as though commoners don't have problems. When in reality, I'm pretty sure you could easily see that there's an issue with heroin in any country. I think.
Yeah.
It's fair. It's like they say cocaine is like the posh man's drug. And it's like, yeah, that makes somewhat sense because cocaine is pretty expensive. Heroin isn't. Heroin was a substitute drug. Heroin was used on prescription for quite some time until they were like, holy shit, this is addictive, let's take it off. Alright? It's not a nice drug, it's something that's could do serious damage, as shown by Demi. I think we need to stop putting so much pressure on celebrities saying that, oh my god, they're like divine beings, because they aren't. They make mistakes, they're human. I think we also need to take a serious look at society and see if this is a problem that society has, and I think the answer to that is going to be yes, it does have this problem. If so, is there anything we can do about this? Which, I don't know, is there something we can do about this?
I mean...
What causes someone to take drugs?
Well,
it's one of those issues that there's like so many potential reasons behind, but social pressure is definitely a big one, as Brian was just saying.
Yeah, I mean, like,
we're going to say having studied sociology and studying social policy.
Okay, on a serious note, you have studied sociology. What is sociology?
What is sociology?
What do you do?
A subject probably more legitimate than mine.
It's basically the study of, well, in its very literal terms, it's the study of how societies work and function and operate.
Because I once knew someone who did sociology, and when I asked about what is sociology, the only response I got was them not talking to me again. So,
it's a kind of awkward question.
You have that effect on
what is sociology? It's like same with with what is political studies. It's a bit of an awkward answer to give.
Yeah, because it's not straight, is it? It's not one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not so much like a simple one defined thing, is it?
But
There's a wide range of stuff.
Good luck to anyone actually. I think who's struggling with this problem.
Oh, definitely.
Going back to what I was saying, though, having studied sociology, studying social policy, you're saying, what can be done in that, where are the issues at hand. A lot of it really is the kind of attitudes that stem from social, the major social influences, which in this society is the media. The media just vilifies
drug users.
kind of will like poor people, like the working class when they use drugs, but heroize or whatever the word would be, they make any kind of celebrity that overdoses on drugs, has an issue with drug abuse, they'll make them seem like they're a hero for surviving, or we should all care for them and be sad that they've like overdosed, whilst I say at the same time someone not famous, not rich, overdoses on the same drug, and suddenly they're seen as a victim, they're seen as like a dreg, a villain, the worst of society, and you should hate them. And that draws a lot of people away from trying to get help because they don't even want to admit that they've got a problem.
Yeah, because they're seen as the villain if they do.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
if you are struggling with drug abuse and you're watching me for whatever reason, and I was like, I don't know why you would for a start, we're a bit shit, but...
Well, I think we might know why they're struggling with drug abuse.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
What is it? This channel, number one reasons people use drugs.
We are. I feel like this channel as a whole is just an epitome of suboptimal life choices.
Ain't that
Hey,
true?
like I say, I studied sociology. I know all about suboptimal life choices.
Yeah, get help if this is an option for
Yes,
you. Even if you think it's going to be difficult, it is going to be difficult. It's going to be hard, but it is the best thing you can do.
Yeah, but it will definitely be
Because
worth
it
it
is
in the
not
end.
going to be the end of the world. You aren't ruining your life by getting help. You're ruining your life by continuing to abuse drugs.
It's always time to sort of try and turn it around and try and get better.
Don't be another person in a body bag. Be another person, behind the desk, helping someone else through something. You aren't a villain. You are a person who needs help. And with that, another person who definitely needs help, Jimmy Fallon, and his blatant copying of YouTubers' content. And I think that's got to be the smoothest transition ever. So let's throw a picture in the degenerates corner of Jimmy Fallon. Or, well, I think I've actually got a picture of the Tonight Show, or whatever it's called, Late Night Show with Jimmy Fallon. I can't remember what it's called. Because there's no pictures of Jimmy Fallon that are free to use. So into the degenerates corner you go, Jimmy Fallon. Yes, the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. So basically, I don't know if you guys did very much research on this, or if I left very much in the brief. Did you see what he'd done?
You didn't actually give us a brief, I don't think.
He did.
Through Facebook.
Yeah, it's how I looked at the
did you?
baseball stuff. I don't think I looked much into this one now.
I may have added this in post.
Oh, you did. I think you did mention it. Was it the Google Translate song?
Yeah. So
That was in the brief.
essentially, he's been saying when he's got like celebrity guests on. So when you translate a song into a language and then translate it back, the words and the context get muddled up. For example, when you translate the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon into another language, you get some crazy result, right? Some people have been doing this online. We're going to have a try it. Like, do you know who does it online by that statement? You don't, do you? It's just a statement. It's just saying, this happens to happen online. I'm not going to tell you who does this online. I'm not going to give you like a clip of a YouTuber doing this. I know I share this platform with you, but we're not going to do that because that'd be sharing credit, wouldn't it? Like, do you think he's in the right here, or do you think he's in the right? Do you think he should be in the degenerate corner for a start?
I mean,
if you look at his face, I think that's enough. But, low blow, I know, but.
So I can't really comment too much because I didn't see much about it.
But
yeah, this isn't what I'd heard too much about. But I like. Yeah, it's sort of ridiculous to try and pass off the concept as something completely original to that show. Like,
yeah,
people have been doing the same sort of, Google Translate it and then translate it back joke with different stuff for years now. Like, you can't pretend that's a new thing.
I was going to say, let's say, with the YouTube channels. So there's a big one from a couple of years ago. Melinda Kathleen. Oh Christ, what's her name? Hang on. can't remember her name, but she did a load of the big, the Google Translate Sings series.
There we go. We will leave a link to Miranda's channel in the description. Miranda Kathleen was there.
Hang on, I'm gonna. Okay, I'll find this. So, Google Translate.
It's fine. I'll find it in post.
That was the one I wrote. Miranda Kathleen Reese. There we go.
Miranda Kathleen Reese. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Hang on.
Don't be playing any of the songs because, yeah.
Yeah, we'll hear it on the thing.
Copyright
Yeah,
infringement.
I'm not gonna play them.
Right. So, shout out to Miranda Kathleen Reese since Jimmy Fallon doesn't give her that.
Yeah, I dropped you
Sam, brilliant. I'll just leave that in the description. Awesome. I think your mic's going a bit. I'm not sure.
Oh.
Sure. We will eventually get his mic fixed.
Yeah, no, well, I have a microphone, but yeah, no, I don't know where it is.
But yeah, so
You think
I have a proper headset.
this is the thing YouTubers do quite a lot, right? And I'm assuming this is a big thing on her channel. I've not actually seen her channel.
Well, I mean, I think a channel. Oh no, she's still going. Last
Still
upload
going.
was 5 months ago.
If you want content from Miranda Kathleen Reese, I'm going to say it again since Jimmy
I
Fallon.
think it looks like she uploads every 5 months or so.
Oh, okay, that's more consistent than this channel.
I mean, especially when you've got musical projects, this can take a long time to produce.
But would you think it'd be harder for him to give her a shout out?
Honestly,
And I'm sure she's not the only one, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was just the first one I could think of, but
yeah.
I think she was one of the originals for it, though. But
I suppose the issue comes from trying to pinpoint exactly who was the person to sort of either popularize it or originally do it, because obviously there'd been so much more drama potentially if they, mislabeled who created something or misappropriated an accolade.
Yeah.
Then again,
at the same time, there should be at least some acknowledgement that this is a thing that people do and people have come up with.
Because Jimmy Fallon would be the first person to go, "Oh my god, copyright infringement!" if someone misappropriated his copyright, wouldn't it? Because he's a big baller boy with a big boy channel, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm gonna say. I mean, it's kind of we gotta look at this the same way, though, with that thing a while ago with the Fine Bros, where they tried to copyright. Oh, I can't remember. It was copyright or patent the React video.
Yeah, there always has been an issue on YouTube.
React videos.
Yeah, just a minute. I'm gonna grab Fine Bros and stick them in the degenerate corner, just for this one topic. I'm not saying that they are degenerate. I'm just saying for this topic.
But yeah, no, I mean, I was a bit more about that because they wanted to stop other people doing similar videos.
There's always been an issue on YouTube of people taking content ideas and just using them without credit. Well, this is the first time it properly happened, with an outside of YouTube source.
Another big one is the slow-mo guys. I don't think they've ever complained about it, but obviously they were the original people who really use slow motion cameras on YouTube, and popularize that. Now, basically any kind of any of the channels that the backyard science kind of channel things, they'll all use slow-mo now, such as a channel that then made its own original kind of concept, the hydraulic press channel, obviously dedicated to hydraulic press channel.
Yeah, have you not seen that?
No.
Oh, it was a thing a while back.
Then again, let's
take a guess on what its content is.
Hydraulic press?
No, actually. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So I will leave a link to the Fine Bros channel in the description. They do actually produce some decent content.
Yeah, well, I mean, hydraulic press are great, and now they were I'm sure they were the original hydraulic press channel, and now ever since they became big, there's been outflow of other hydraulic press channels.
Although, to be fair, I guess that one's slightly harder to replicate than other channel concepts, since you need to first acquire a hydraulic press.
Yeah.
Then again, by that logic, surely people should have just been copying the 1,000-degree knife, and I didn't see that many copies of that.
That's because that one kind of lost all its hype after like the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many things you can cut with a knife.
I mean, I don't think.
I mean, don't forget, didn't most of the 1,000-degree knife stuff just pick up because? Didn't most of the 1,000-degree knife stuff just pick up because of the whole YouTube algorithm drama that was happening at the same time?
Pretty much. I mean, you said no one really knows how the algorithm works. The algorithm is just like a mystical creature.
Well, they keep changing it, you know. There was back in the day when it favoured, for some fucking reason, 1,000-degree knife videos, and then there was that brief time where it was favouring, like, weird, somehow copyright dodging Spider-Man Elsa videos, that weird content.
You're missing the most important thing.
Auto-generated for children.
Hashtag
a lot of weird
children,
stuff.
boys.
You're missing the most important thing to have become, like, randomly famous out of nowhere, which I'm pretty sure came down to an algorithm just suggesting it to people.
Go on.
I'm going to drop a link to it.
Oh, the smart I forgot about.
What the hell is this? What?
No. This one was a video that went viral because it's just a dumb premise that is exactly what it says in the tin.
It's a waffle falling over, by the way.
Yeah, this was like just like one of those great.
And just say, yeah, waffle falling over.
This wasn't an algorithm thing. This was one of those shitpost meme things that just became popular because it's dumb.
I am going to try desperately to put all this. I'm actually keeping a note this week, and I have like all the images I have used as links if you want to get them. No boy is copying shit over here like without leaving credit, because I kind of feel bad for last week, but I don't know where I got half the images from. If that does get a copyright strike, I'm not going to fight that.
Yeah. I'll be honest, a couple of images from last week were just things that we threw in the chat at some point.
Yeah, it was just kind of one of them things that we were like, yeah, let's just do this on a whim, because like you say, just shit was in the chat, and I'm like, yeah, let's just show the audience. And now I'm like, actually, I quite like this idea. So we're just throwing stuff on. Also,
yeah,
that moose picture, I'm sorry, that moose picture's nice. Moose picture better at protecting privacy than AR-15.
Kyle, you really need to watch how much you're complimenting this moose. You already put yourself in questionable territory with the Ratatouille comments. You know, are we certain we want to be branching out to that demographic so soon?
Maybe I'm just Canadian at heart. I like the French and like the moose. What are you on about? Eh? What are you on about?
Oh, please don't. Let's not have that.
I'm going to stick the Canadian flag in. Let's try and grab a Canadian flag from somewhere.
Yeah, I just realised that I am not even going to try and pronounce the channel's name, but the channel responsible for Waffle falling over, they're still uploading.
You're
kidding.
Yeah, we have things such as touching a washing machine with a broom.
What?
Turning on light. Turning off light.
Putting cheese on a comment.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, this is actually some pretty legit quality. They've got a pretty consistent upload schedule.
I'm sorry, how can you say they've got a consistent upload schedule when all they upload is Waffle falling over, putting cheese on comment?
Because it seems we have at least around about 1 to 2 videos a month for the most part. On a pretty consistent schedule.
No, I've accidentally rescaled the Canadian flag. Let's move that up again a bit. There we go, right. The Canadian flag is now underneath the Puerto Rican flag.
Dude,
ooh,
like all of his videos have like round about what 15 to 20k views. This is impressive.
Christ. I'm doing the wrong thing, aren't I?
This is like some proper like deconstructive like Dadaist content here.
God. Right. Anyway, back to the original topic. Do we think Jimmy Fallon should give credit to YouTubers, yay or nay?
I'm gonna say that's a yay from me.
Ryan?
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah.
You've got 3 yays you're going through.
Is this our new format now? We end each topic with a yay or nay question.
I mean, it just is for the. I mean, they're all like
I'm
they're all
down
clearly
for
black
that.
and white questions. Obviously, there's
Yeah.
never any grey area. There's no 49 Shades of Grey because
Yeah.
I can't say the other thing because that's
Just you guys wait. The yay or nay is going to show up on the Tonight Show next.
God. Some YouTubers do this online.
Yeah, they're always got their ear to the ground for content creators that aren't quite big enough to complain about it.
Do you know the next thing is going to be like pictures coming up like behind Jimmy Fallon as he does it? I'm not even. I know for a fact I am not the only person who does this. I know there is going to be countless others who do this, right?
I mean, is that not just a thing that like news programs do already? Just having pictures in the
No, I mean like in this specific style, like just putting images related, like and then semi really not related to the topic. Like I'm sure there's channels that do this, right?
Yeah, man.
I'm pretty sure. Like there's one I'm subscribed to. I think it's Fact Fiend, Carl Smallwood, who has a big wood. Go check them out. They're amazing.
Didn't know you knew him that well.
No, that's actually the joke. His name's Smallwood, so like, he's got big wood. But no, he does something similar to this, except they use a green screen. But I'm not that pretty in real life, as I'm sure you know by most of my old videos. So I don't think I should really talk to you with my face. Also, getting these three in a room with me is going to be pretty impossible at this current time.
Yeah, you know. Transport would definitely be an issue there.
Wakey's putting in the chat, time isn't real. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I was trying to just subtly ask you how long we've been going tonight. I wanted to cut down on the time from
that
last
is
week.
true. I'm keeping a close eye on it. We are currently at 1 hour 41. We are good.
Yeah.
And we only have two more.
I want to kind of ruin the flow by asking. There you go.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine.
So much for subtlety.
Hashtag content.
Content, man.
Content.
Content.
This can be the new trend. Right, this can be the new YouTube trend.
Yeah, but no, guys.
Saying how long your video is.
Time is a social construct. Nothing has meaning.
Hashtag timephobia. No? Okay. Sound. Okay, so the next one is something Ryan wants to talk about. So, DC's just dropped a new trailer for Shazam, was it?
They've dropped 2 new trailers. One for Shazam and one for Aquaman.
I have only seen the Shazam one. Let me just throw a picture of Zachary Levi up, because why not? A man with infinitely more talent than I do.
Also, they've also got a brand new director. They've finally ditched Snyder.
So do you think this is going to be good then? So
well, I like Snyder's films, I'm going to admit, but I am a big DC fan, and a lot of the anti-DC, Marvel fan base, a lot of them are Disney employees that are doing their job in attacking their competition. It's a known thing with Disney that they do that, but I don't want to sound like I'm just ranting. You'll end up getting
as someone that has no affiliation with Marvel officially, has DC done good films since the Dark Knight trilogy?
No.
No.
No, they haven't.
Yeah. It's not a completely unjustified dislike. I mean, Wonder Woman was good, but I think they ruined most of the good parts of it for the Justice League film.
Right, I am going to watch Shazam because I like Zachary Levi as an actor, right? I just think he's funny, and I think he's showing that shine in Shazam, or at least what I've seen from the trailer, right? So I'm going to go see that. I don't know about Aquaman because I don't really know anything about Aquaman. Like, I don't really know anything about Shazam, but at least it looks funny. What's Aquaman? A guy who's under the water and commands fish.
I mean, the dude's been memed as like the worst superhero for years. So naturally, any modern interpretation makes him so edgy.
How does Aquaman stop a murder on a beach?
Well, you see, here's the thing, right? Because he's been just a joke for so many years, that now any modern interpretation has to make him so edgy and violent just to counter that.
Okay, so how does modern edgy Aquaman?
Comics is always had. If you ever watch the comics or read the comics or watch, the old cartoons, he's always been, actually quite dark. He's.
I mean,
he's had. I'm sure the original stuff. He's had like alcoholic. He's been an alcoholic. It's actually quite well portrayed on.
Deep, dark lore.
Very well.
Aquaman.
So yeah, but like I say, Ryan, wouldn't you be if you couldn't stop a murder on a beach?
But no, he does
I
have
mean,
other
he's
powers,
probably
you know.
just as capable of stopping murder on the beach as you are, at least.
That is true. That's a good point.
So you don't
Yeah,
have
no, he does
much of
actually
a
have
high
like,
horse to
other
talk about from
powers and
there.
shit in the DCEU, like, you know, in the law.
I'll be honest, my knowledge of DC law pretty much comes entirely from the first Injustice.
Mine comes from Lego.
Lego.
You are not talking with very enlightened intellectuals on the subject.
And the Supergirl TV show. Because it's funny. What? It's about the only good thing DC's put out in recent years. Can't stand Arrow, that's crap.
I'm pretty sure I watched the second Dark Knight film.
I don't think I've watched any
The
of them.
Dark Knight trilogy.
I've just
Dark
seen
Knight trilogy
clips
is
from them and
amazing.
know that there's decent cinematography, decent acting, and a decent plot.
See, that's my relationship with The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. I've seen very small parts.
I've not seen any of it. I've seen
I've
the fight
seen
scene from Two
extended-
Towers. That's it.
Yeah,
All
I've
I've
seen extended editions of all 6 films.
Have you done it in one sitting yet?
Hashtag hardcore fan.
Not one sitting. Oh yeah, I used to be I'm quite a hardcore like Lord of the Rings fan.
I've not seen any of them. How does that make you feel?
I feel like I'm
I mean,
sort
I've
of
read the books as
obligated
well,
to see them
so-
at some point. Like, I feel like I kind of have to watch them eventually, just because I'm such a big fan of like fantasy tabletop stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like I sort of am obligated to watch
So
them
basically, what my
eventually.
viewers are realizing is I am the worst nerd.
Oh yeah, no, we are like the worst nerds. We are the least qualified.
Well, you two are.
Yeah, Ryan's definitely like a proper nerd.
No, I mean,
Ryan,
what
you're
are
a
you on
political
about?
science student. You lost any nerd credibility you have with that one.
Yeah, there we go. Boom. I'm not a nerd, so not all this nerdy stuff. You know, it's got nowhere.
Oh dear God.
Like no one in nerd culture is ever going to believe you're an actual nerd. They're always going to think you're trying to push some sort of agenda because they see politics
He's
and
such a poser.
they see the word political in your education history and they just
He doesn't
No,
even
man.
go here.
yeah.
I get free access well, not free, you know, I get access everywhere without the judgment, eh? That's how you get around it.
Yeah, so is there any more DC trailers that have dropped, Ryan, that I've not been made aware of? You should know these, right?
Not from DC, but Warner Brothers have also announced a new Godzilla film.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh yay, more Godzilla, I guess.
Yeah. No, so it's Warner Brothers that do make the that do the DC films.
How is that going to be enjoyable?
I mean, after the rousing success that was the second Pacific Rim, I'm sure the public
Pacific
is
Rim was
definitely
just
hyped
shit.
for it. That was the
No,
joke.
Pacific Rim is one of them, like the first one, is one of them films that's so bad it's good.
I don't know. Pacific Rim does a lot of really good things. Like, it definitely speaks with a great love for the genres it's sort of taking on. Pacific Rim 2 was just a cash-in.
Then what we'll give credit to Pacific Rim 1 for is that basically half the entire cast was from Sons of Anarchy.
That's got to have been a cheap casting call.
No, there's some big names in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you don't have to go anywhere. You're just like, oh, let's go to Sons of Anarchy. Sign all of them.
No, like,
Oh, could you
the guy
imagine
that
if you
plays
did
Jack,
that? Just
who's
like,
like the main character, he was in it. The guy that plays Jax's dad.
Alright, I'm just
Was
going to
it-
get a motorcycle and just stick that in. Everyone will know
Yeah.
what we're on about, right?
honestly, no. Could you imagine that? Just like you have one pretty successful film, and then you get the entire cast to also act in a completely unrelated film.
Can I get like a clip
It's the exact
art?
same cast.
Let me just get a clip art motorcycle.
Oh yes.
Let's just there we go, that'll do. Openclipart.org sound.
Oh yes.
I'll just picture looking up then.
Save
You
this
got a
image
shot.
as download. That's an awesome name. That's an awesome name for a download. Very
Oh
descriptive.
yeah,
That's
man.
not going to get overwritten at all.
You don't have a folder just full of download 1, download 2, download 3. And
Anyway,
so on.
okay, so I clicked on open the link to this, right, and it's just gone to a random site. Oh no, it is actually. It's just like redirecting me to Wikipedia the first time for some reason. Not a clue. Don't really understand this. Yeah, so like, most of this time it's just going to be me putting up like images of clip art, isn't it? Like, vroom vroom, uncropped clip art. Vroom vroom. Enjoy that white background. Okay.
Yeah, mum.
So anyway, back to the topic at hand, boys. What DC movies do you recommend I, as a person who has never really watched any DC movies, should watch?
Definitely the Dark Knight trilogy.
Okay. That's the one with Hugh Ledger in it. Is it Hugh Ledger? Heath Ledger?
Heath
Ledger was in the second Dark Knight film.
Right. I like him. He's a good actor.
Yeah, except I'm going to say, so the first one's Batman Begins.
I like him in 10 Things I Love About You, or Hate About You.
Yeah.
It's a good film. Go watch it. It's based on Shakespeare's The Shrew.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a good film. Genuinely worth a watch. Like, even if you're not like a chick flicky kind of thing, it's good just from like a.
I had chick flick and I zoned out.
That's what it is. Ryan just zones out when I start talking about chick flicks.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another good shit flick from time to time.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. I actively watch them on Netflix at times. At least half of my DVD library is chick flicks. I actively because I bought a Blu-ray player like for my computer. It's like, oh, I need something to play on this Blu-ray player. I'll buy a new Blu-ray. Bear in mind, I already have like a load of Blu-rays. I just need something to accelerate a new Blu-ray. I bought a chick flick.
I'm honestly more kind of distressed that you own a Blu-ray player.
I own 3.
What? Why?
PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and a portable one for my laptop.
Oh, okay.
The portable one for my laptop is the best.
Come on, man. Who buys a PS4?
I don't know. I was saying to you before we started the recording, like I was playing my PlayStation 4 earlier. It was like I can't go to that level of graphics anymore now that I've been to like, because I've got a decent PC and I've been playing on that for like a good chunk, like so long that my database, my PlayStation needed rebuilding. Like the BIOS battery had died.
Oh man.
I know.
No, I can't fully relate to this because my PC is a pretty shite laptop that I just forced to run things it really shouldn't. I'm somehow going to get through a computer science course on this thing, don't know how, but
I couldn't cope with the graphics though that well.
Yeah.
Like I was playing GTA 5. I was like, I can see pixels. I could see the pixels on my monitor's not that great. It's pretty.
I think that's the sign you've been playing for too long. If you can start to see individual pixels.
But I could see frame rate issues. I could see bad texture quality. There's no tessellation on the PS4. And I'm a sucker for tessellation, and I don't know why.
Okay, just remind me if I ever need to check the tessellation on something I do just to give you a call.
Does it have enough depth?
You know, how would you say the tessellation is doing? Is it to your standard?
I'd say it's tesserable. That was a shit one, wasn't it?
I can't tell what word that was supposed to be.
I was going for terrible.
It really didn't flow.
Terrible. But okay, so the Dark Knight trilogy. Before we get tangented again. How did we get here again?
DC had a new trailer.
That's right. There we go. Boom. Because that makes sense. Right? Ryan, we lost you again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry. What?
So what other films should I watch from the DC series?
I would definitely recommend Justice League. I honestly think that's a really good film. And Wonder Woman was a really well done film.
I keep meaning to watch that.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a good film. Like
I heard a lot of good things about Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Like apparently the costume design was really up there.
Of course, I'm gonna say that.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, just in general, it's a really good film. Like,
Okay.
Look, man, I can't help if I follow a lot of people that tend to freak out over actually practical armor on women in media.
actually practical armor? Isn't like most of her leg exposed?
Look, man, compared to most armor you see on women in media, that shit is like up there.
Well, it's the old game trope, isn't it? Where like, the
Yeah.
less armor you wear, the more armor it is on a woman.
Yeah, you know. Who cares if it looks like it's just a napkin held together by dental floss? No, this is totally legit armor, guys. There's a total in universal law reason for this to exist.
Oh,
It's fine.
Yeah, no, that's just always been a problem.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that much of a problem these days.
No, it's not as bad now. It certainly isn't.
No, it's not as bad, but it's still so annoying when people like try and defend what is a critique of the designer for putting it in with somebody what's only an excuse of like, oh, it makes sense in universe though. It's like, yeah, but those law details were decided by the same people that decided to put this character in no clothing. Like that's not a justification.
I think Dead or Alive 5 was the worst of this. Like, didn't they have a one-handed mode?
Yeah, but Dead or Alive 5 as a spin-off series, it's just volleyball with half-naked girl characters.
But I'm pretty sure like the 5th game had a one-handed mode.
Look, I wouldn't be surprised. Dead or Alive is a weird series.
First of all, I have major questions. One, isn't one of the character players in that like supposed to be, was it like 16 or something?
Look, man, Dead or Alive lost all credibility when the first Beach Volleyball game came out.
Second of all, alright, the fuck do you play? How do you play a fighting game one-handed?
I don't know.
I feel like I want to own this to try the one-handed mode, but I also don't want to own Dead or Alive.
Yeah, like, if you do, you've got to get it hard copy, paying cash from a game that is significantly far from where you live and you will never go to again.
Can't I just order it online using a burner card?
There'll still be records of being delivered to your house.
Okay, so I get a burner card, right? I buy a PO box.
Yeah, get a burner house.
I use a different burner card for the purchase and get it sent to the PO box. And then burn the copy afterwards.
When it comes down to things like this, the worst ones are still a lot of, the anime-style Japanese, the JRPGs.
Yeah,
it's an issue.
Yeah, but there's a massive problem with that sort of stuff in Japan anyway, isn't there?
Yeah, Japan has an issue with it, but I mean, let's face it, the games industry has issues.
I think it was Stacey Dooley on it was a BBC documentary that did a brilliant dive into Japanese culture and like their treatment of women.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I'm not SGW or anything, but watch that, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, the last time someone tried to bring up concerns like this, Gamergate happened.
Yeah, but Gamergate was a legitimately stupid thing. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was a nothing.
But it was mostly co-opted by a bunch of angry nerds that really didn't like this person because they brought up this stuff, and then the drama happened.
For the sake of argument, didn't Zoe Quinn sleep with like a bunch of game reviewers to get her game better reviews?
I honestly can't remember whether that was actually proved or not. I mean, wouldn't be too surprised. Games journalism is a sham. But
to be fair, check out. It was a Depression Quest, wasn't it? Her game. It's shit. I think it's on Steam.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, what's it like? A lot of it's weird because there was legitimate like faults, but what ended up coming from it was less of an actual discussion on that and more of just a tirade of people that didn't like people saying mildly feminist things about video games.
Yeah, but there were no mildly feminist things.
Modern incel culture, isn't it?
It was all or nothing.
So I think Gamergate is the thing that really brought out the modern incel kind of culture, isn't it?
It was sort of the precursor to that, wasn't it? I mean, a lot of the same sentiments and a lot of the same types of people.
So that was pre-Gamergate.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a lot of the same same types of people in the same like internet groups and stuff.
Yeah, what I find, speaking of incels, what I find kind of insane is they like hold Elliot Rodger to be this like amazing godlike person. It's like the guy went on a mass murdering spree and shot women who wouldn't sleep with him.
Yep, and that is why they like him.
That is two different kind of felonies.
Well, you see, the thing is, a
sex
lot of
worker.
people that are very much like, deep into this whole incel sort of subculture are essentially convinced that the world has screwed them over by promising them that they'd get, girlfriends and they'd be loved, and then that hasn't happened, and they blame women for it, and
Women,
think that
it's
they
not your
should have a
fault.
right to have people sleep with them.
Women, it's not your fault. Don't sleep with incels. They're weirdos.
Yeah.
Fucking insults, man.
Like, it's the same crowd of people that say, like, oh, this school shooter wouldn't have happened if people hadn't made him so antisocial and hate them so much.
Why do we keep going back to mass shootings?
I don't know.
I think it's because we hate
It's an
America.
issue with an American subculture. Like, everything links back there eventually.
You were saying?
Makes me like, I think one of the more recent ones, there was a lot of people coming out saying, well, if people had been nicer to this guy that eventually went on a school shooting, and that, if this girl hadn't turned him down, then maybe he wouldn't have killed people. It's like, that's not a fucking...
That's like the female equivalent of saying to a man, take one for the team.
It's like victim blaming of the worst degree. It's like, these people wouldn't have died if, if only someone would have slept with this obviously mentally unstable teenager.
It is, isn't it? It's the female version of take one for the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that obviously unattractive person who you are not going to have any kind of good time with, and he's going to treat you like a bitch. Take one for the team. She fancies Jim Bob over here. Jim Bob don't want
Yeah,
to
I mean,
with
if
her.
anything, it's sort of the implication that this random ass dude's, personal satisfaction is worth more than other people's, I guess, freedom in any way.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it just comes back to a general statement I think I have. Fucking incels.
Yeah. Pretty
Or
sums it
rather,
up, doesn't
not
it?
fucking themselves.
Hey.
Hey.
Should we move on to the next topic then?
Ah, sure, yeah.
So, in crazy this week, Kit Kat lost their copyright battle against the EU for trying to copyright the shape of the Kit Kat.
Ha.
This is why we voted Brexit.
Brexit.
Yeah, man. Brexit means Brexit. We want Kit Kats to remain.
To be fair,
I don't know, the only thing that can be that
saw
shape.
the story break, I burst into laughter. Like, how can you copyright?
Yeah.
Shape? After looking into the thing, it's how Kit Kats have like grooves in them where you break the way the Kit Kat.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, they tried to
That's
copyright that
right.
concept. That's just common sense, though, that if you want a product like breaks in part, like,
Do you know why they lost the battle?
is it by any chance that long-standing multiple brands of ice lolly that have the same exact concept?
No, it's because they were deemed not to be in any financial risk or something along them lines if they lost. There is enough
Oh, I love
recognition-
that.
There is enough brand recognition of Kit Kat for them to not have an issue with it, is my understanding of it.
Oh, I love that.
Let's just grab a picture of Kit Kat and throw them in the degenerate corner.
Nah, even better. Grab a picture of one of those like Audi own brand Kit Kats
Oh no,
instead.
there is one. That's what I got. It's a Norwegian. It is a Norwegian. Oh, shy 1 minute. It's a Norwegian brand. I think because they were the. I think they were originally the people they were suing or something.
Oh.
Because they, honestly, when you watch this video back, you'll see what I mean. It is.
I mean,
almost
yeah,
even the name.
I'm kind of glad they've lost this because there is, I forget which store it's from now, but there's one of those own brands of like Kit Kat-esque things that honestly taste better than the originals.
Oh, it's like I think it's Morrison's own Oreos, or no, Poundland own Oreos. They're better than Oreos.
Yeah.
They're probably made in the same factory, especially
Technically,
something like
Oreos
this.
No,
weren't
they're
even
not.
the first
It's a
things to be
myth.
Oreos.
They actually aren't. When people say, "Oh, they're made in the same factory, just sold as different brands," they're not. They are genuinely two different. Like,
Yo, want some
a lot of things,
spicy
a
trivia?
lot of things like that are actually just made in the same factory and just put in different boxes.
they're not. Someone did like a full investigation into it. They're really not.
Yo, do you want
They're
some
just that
interesting
close
information
to
here?
Go on.
Oreos weren't the first things to do the whole Oreo thing.
No, I'd say that's probably Bourbons.
No, High Drops, which were literally Oreos about, 10 years earlier?
Oh, can we still get them?
I they were discontinued in 1999
So we could
after
probably
their brand was
still
acquired.
get some that are in date if we hunted around eBay enough.
I believe. Oh wait, no, they were the product was reintroduced in 2015 actually, according to
Oh
Wikipedia.
shit.
I don't know
Someone
how
get
this
on
other
Google
company
that.
got the brand,
Yeah. Someone get on Google on that.
but apparently these things came about in 1908, and Oreo was established in 1912.
Oh.
But
Well, you
Oreo
might
became
join in.
Oh, bloody
but
hell.
Oreo became more popular and eventually has fully eclipsed Hydrox as a brand.
Oh. That's quite cool actually.
Hmm.
I didn't know that. There you go. Give some love to the Hydrox, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Some love to Hydrox. They're apparently Oreo, but not. Same but different.
Of course, we're not sponsored by them.
I don't think they have enough money to sponsor people. Who discontinued in, what was it, 99, did you say? And then came back in 2015.
Yeah, so the original company that produced them was bought out by Kellogg's, I believe, around about that time. Wait.
Okay.
They were acquired by Keebler, and which I think were in turn bought out by Kellogg's a few years later.
Oh.
And a company called Leaf Brands. I don't know how they acquired the copyrights to these, but reintroduced them in 2015.
Why do I get the impression it's probably one of them that if you go to like Audi or something, that's where you'll find them?
Potentially, yeah. Although Audi's more likely to have their own brand thing they can get for cheaper.
No, I mean like, what if that is like Audi's own brand?
Could be.
Maybe.
If anyone shops at Audi or any of the equivalents, I forgot what the other ones are called. Because there's more than one. There's Lidl as well. There's Audi, Lidl. There's I suppose Poundwood's Poundland and Poundwood are kind of on the same. Yeah.
Netto's another one.
Yeah,
You got to love
you
it.
can only really get Netto in like mainland Europe though.
No, that's Netto in Selby.
Seriously?
What's a
Yeah.
Netto?
Netto's like it's like a discount food shop.
Oh, right.
It's like an
They do
Aldi.
broken biscuits in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to love Netto. There used to be one when I went down to my grandma and granddad's. There used to be a Netto
Oh,
there.
damn.
I used to get pork scratchings from because they used to have a butcher in the back.
Oh, wow.
So I used to get pork scratchings from that. Pork scratchings. Like, I love pork scratchings.
Oh, I can't stand pork
What the
scratchings.
fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I know, I'm around on this one.
Especially with a bit of air, some nice crispiness, a bit of soggy stuff to it. Like, is it really a pork scratching if there's no air?
I don't fully understand what that means.
Like, you get a little hair on your pork scratching. Like the pig.
Well, thank you. You've just made me even less inclined to ever eat pork scratchings.
Pork scratchings are the bee's knees. Like, great. Fucking love pork scratchings. Can't get them like all that easily now. Like, every so often I'll like walk into Tesco's and I'll have them. But I don't really have like a proper butcher's, so it's not that easy to get them. Oh, also, if you have like a heart condition, don't eat them. They're just like pure salt. Just like nothing but salt. It's pork plus salt. But you know, Kit Kat lost. Back to the Kit Kat story. Kit Kat lost this lawsuit, which freed up a little bit of market for the Norwegian competitor, which is genuinely bloody identical to a Kit Kat.
Yep.
I'm not even kidding. It's like a little bit more brown.
You know, it's always good to see a large brand failing to establish a monopoly on a concept.
Yeah.
But I'm in two minds. I don't know whether they should own the right to this because it is a unique shape. It's not. It doesn't look like a chocolate bar. It doesn't look like a biscuit. It's somewhere in the middle.
I mean, I feel like at this point though, they've had plenty of time to try and establish this as like their iconic thing.
True.
They're not in any real threat.
I suppose. This is where like in 2 years' time, Kit Kat Nestle announces discontinuation of Kit Kat due to poor sales records.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's
I mean, I'll confess I'm slightly just biased by my dislike of Nestle as a company, but
How come?
they've done dodgy shit.
So,
I'm pretty sure they were the ones that were pumping out bottled water from California at the same time California was suffering a serious drought.
It's like Coca-Cola in India. They had to shut down the Coca-Cola manufacturing plant because they were causing a drought due to the amount of water they were getting.
Yep.
Yeah. But no, the thing I remember reading about the thing that gets ended up there with Nestle's water. Oh god, Nestle's bottled water. Like, actually, let's not get on to this topic, eh, Kyle?
No, let's do it. We've got we're still only on 2 hours and 10 minutes.
No, I'm just thinking about your
bottled water. Don't want to bring up any bad memories.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I can't buy friends, can I? I'm just sad.
We'll discuss the fee at the end of the video, yeah?
No, it's fine. You can raise it if you want. I don't mind. I don't mind Nestle's bottled water.
I think you missed the joke a bit there, but...
Oh no, I didn't. That's the point. I've just become so meta on this joke. So when it's your most popular video on your channel, you kind of have to just accept that it's there.
No,
I mean, if any of you guys watching haven't seen it, go check out his smart water review.
No one who hasn't seen it.
Like pulling some viewers.
8 billion people on Earth, and
they organise like mass. No, they organise like mass club parties and watch it there. So everyone's seen it. Everyone on Earth.
Yeah, I've been physically mailing letters with the URL written on it.
Do you know, I might just put it as a sub thing into my domain. I might just put it as a subdomain to my domain, just I just go to /water and you go to here.
Just
so you just go to the straight site, you go to LinkedIn, you /water, and you get my YouTube channel.
We'll have a word with whoever's running committee next year and get them to just put it on the official site page.
Good God. It has been round so many group chats that it basically already is on the society's page. Honestly,
I should totally just no context post it in my old A-level group chat.
Do it. I don't care.
Do it.
No context given, just have this.
You're affiliated with this channel. It's only a little bad on you.
Fuck it, those people know me well enough anyway. I can't possibly type my reputation anymore with those.
It's fine.
Tell us how it goes.
It's fine, boys, right? As long as smart water isn't sold in Weatherspoons, we're fine. Sorry, I had to put a Weatherspoons reference. I've got to tie it back.
Oh, you fucking hell. Spoons own smart water. I can only imagine how bad that'd be.
Whoa! How dare you knock Spoons? Spoons is nice.
Mate, look, I'm in a Spoons every now and again. I'm allowed to talk Spoons.
Mate, Spoons is where we meet. If we go around town, Spoons is where we start. Around town.
Look, I still say we need to nationalise Weatherspoons.
Because Spoons is cheaper
Nationalise
than free drinks.
It's one of the true last bastions of British culture. It needs to be nationalised to preserve it.
So going back to the original point, right?
So I'm not worried about British culture.
If we want to integrate people into British culture, they've got to appreciate spoons. That's what it is. If you don't appreciate spoons, you're not British. Simple as. Even if you don't drink.
I mean, if I've got to criticise spoons for one thing, it's the one near me never has any bloody good cider in.
I don't need cider. Just get yourself a craft ale.
Who the fuck drinks craft ale at spoons?
Fuck off with your goddamn craft ale and your bitters and all that shit.
You have a lager. Sit at the back of back with.
Fuck off, right? No.
That is the true spoons experience.
No, mate. What you want is some old moat or some record leg or something like that. That's what you need.
No.
Yeah.
You go to the bartender. You ask for 2 pints of lager and a bag of crisps and the menu, and you go sit in the back in the booth and order a curry when you're off the phone because you're antisocial.
Nah, mate.
Oh, mate, you don't even need to go to the bar anymore, though.
Oh yeah, they got an app now.
Yeah, but there is something satisfying about going 2 pints of lager and a bag of crisps. There is a reason they made a TV show of it, boys. You got to say that to a bartender. And if
I've
you can
never
keep,
said that to a bartender.
Oh, yeah.
seriously,
I mean,
if,
I'll
you,
always go
if
to
the
the bar.
bartender can keep a straight face with you
I
saying it,
don't think I've ever actually drunk lager.
really,
Yeah.
I'm changing that when I next see you.
Oh,
Lager,
please
lager,
don't.
no, lager is one of those things that is shit the first time. But, right, if you get the right lager, wing a little bit of lime in it, and all of a sudden, like, it's the next level drinking.
Hmm.
I'll still say get yourself a.
I don't know. I'm not big on me like bitters and me proper beers and all that
That's the
stuff.
thing, it gets rid of the bitter taste of lager.
Right.
Hmm.
To be honest, no. Forget lager. If you want to try and get into like drinking any kind of beer, like craft beer or anything like that, you want a wheat beer.
No,
Get something like a Blue Moon.
that's an
Blue Moon is
abomination.
God.
How dare you call that beer?
You're just wrong, Kyle.
What did you say? I'm just wrong.
You're just wrong if you think Blue Moon's an abomination.
It is.
Ah, mate.
I don't like beer though.
Well, you're in the wrong bloody country, you are.
I can cope with some beers. I don't
Well,
like
what do you drink then?
beer-wise. I don't know.
Well, just in general.
Alright, I'll drink either some kind of cider, a bit of scrumpy cider, or a lager. Some lager with like a tiny head topper. I don't know. Or a Coke.
If you're drinking cider, you must be nuts too.
No, it's not. No, where the hell even is that joke? What?
Best
I knew
robot.
Tom would get that. It's a Robot Wars joke.
Oh, okay, right. I've not.
So there was a robot called Nuts 2. Well, it
Best
was
robot.
Nuts, and then
Was
the
it
later
from West
version
Country? West Country.
yeah, and
Of
the
course.
and the guy who like the
Does
team
it-
captain,
does it like
his
cider?
dad works in the his dad made cider.
Because he likes the cider they does in West Country.
Yeah. Oh no, it was a great robot.
But
Yeah, true fucking legends, aren't they?
there's no
Eating
like
chub.
homemade cider, like scrumpy cider. It is the best drink. None
No,
of
I
your-
never really tried
none
it.
of your fancy pants, like what is it, old moot cider or whatever it is. None of that. It's too sweet for me.
It's from New Zealand. I wouldn't exactly call it fancy.
Don't they just drink lager there? Is that
Yeah,
why,
that's
is
why
that
they-
why,
that's
is
why-
that why we get it? Because they don't want to drink it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh, mate, I will defend old mood as much as
it's like the
as
whole
much as
thing
I
of-
damn can.
It's like the whole thing with Foster's, where they talk about how they're all Australian. Nobody drinks lager in Australia, you know. Like, it's not actually a big thing. It's like a lot of lager is made in Australia and then it's exported.
What do they drink in Australia?
I don't know
Actually,
about.
good alcohol.
Yeah, no, I think they do actually have good beer. Like, I don't think. Like, I'm sure I read somewhere that actually. I mean, it's from the internet, so who knows if it were true. But, you know, where lager isn't
Who would
actually
allow on the
a
internet?
very popular thing in Australia.
Who would do such a thing? Sorry,
I don't know. I'm not
That's
sure.
gotta be true. 'Cause who would lie on the internet? Like, who would do that?
1 minute, I'm just gonna get a picture of Binky. was it Binky or was Binky the bully?
Look, man, I didn't watch Arthur enough to know that question off the top of my head.
Arthur the rabbit. Let's go for that one.
It's, but no, I mean, come on, Australia isn't even real.
Yeah, man, everyone knows Australia is just a myth created by the US government.
It was Buster.
Yeah, exactly.
Buster. Binky was Binky was the bully, I think.
To be fair, you gotta raise
Like,
questions
it's not
about
even
how
just-
many people are actually in Australia when everything in Australia is like, going to kill you.
Right, gonna get another one
They,
from
lo-
No
they
Name.
lost a war. They lost a war against a group of emus.
Yeah, although to be fair, they sent in like one general and 2 soldiers to fight the war.
He still lost against one of the emus.
I didn't mean to put browser up. I meant to put image. Continue talking about the Great Emu War.
Oh, speaking of random trivia about emus that I have in no way fact checked.
Always the
According
best
to
kind.
according to some rando on Tumblr that I saw like a good 2 years ago, not only do emus have a habit of performing their usual like I guess, sort of a mating dance call thing to human zookeepers. But there's been multiple cases of emus showing a precedence towards doing it towards the keepers instead of other emus.
Wait, what? Seriously?
There are emus out there that are reverse furries.
You say the birds, it comes down to imprinting.
I don't know if that's actually true in any fucking way,
I
but
want
you
to
know,
believe it is. I want to believe
yeah,
it is.
I don't want to fact check it just in case it's wrong. And I just need that to carry me through life.
Ah, Christ. I love, I don't know, I love the picture I got of Buster. It's just a picture of him, like, smiling so creepily. So, Sarah, did you just quote that meme and just, like, never see, like, the original source content?
I'm sure I must have watched that show a couple of
I'm gonna say,
times
oh my god,
in my
change that.
childhood.
Arthur is fucking amazing. I have an entire video on this channel about Arthur.
Oh.
Seriously, there. Self-plug,
okay.
self-promo.
Oh,
Hashtag.
that we getting that self promo.
I mean, I've got, what was it, 31 subscribers, and like 2 of them subscribers are you guys, so I should probably like self-promo.
There's another couple of alt accounts on there of mine.
Oh yeah, no, if YouTube ever does like a bot purge, I'm fucked.
Oh, you think that's bad, dude? I'm pretty sure Tumblr has more porn bots than it does actual users at this point.
And on that, I think we're going to end this show because it has been 2 hours 20 minutes, which I think is a good time.
Yeah, that's pretty.
You gotta think
yeah,
about
pretty
your
good.
uploading.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing what the end image looks like on this episode.
Oh, it's
What I'm always waiting
Oh,
for. At
yeah.
the end.
amazing.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to send us that one.
Oh, well, as I'm always going to be doing, like, don't worry about it. It's like, it
Yeah,
just makes no sense. Like, I just like the idea of out of context images.
Yeah, there's something just pure about it.
Like, I just want to appear one day on Reddit as like r/no context.
Is that just your dream?
That's my dream. I
You
wanna
can
go-
dream, Harold.
Oh, Christ. I spend far too much time on Reddit, don't I? Like, to want to be a Reddit celebrity. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
I think I have like 13 karma. That's it. My account's like 6 years old.
Anyway, we're actually gonna like wrap this up then.
On that,
Yep.
Tumblr having more porn bots than actual people. Let's end this. Any final words? No.
Fuck Elon Musk.
We can't keep saying fuck Elon Musk.
Oh, come on, just one more time.
Don't drink melted slushy. It's kind of gross.
Very
Sure.
useful one.
I've been drinking a slushy throughout this episode, by the way.
It's fine. My coffee went cold hours ago.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, you should have had tea.
Yeah, because tea wouldn't go cold, right?
Yeah, but it's still tea.
Yeah, but coffee's still
Yorkshire
coffee.
tea.
Like I said, I don't want to open a new box of Yorkshire tea when I can take that to uni with me.
You can open the box and still take it back to uni.
Yeah, but once you've opened a box of
no.
tea, you kind of have to drink it.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, I'm just suffering now. I've run out of hot chocolate powder, and I've only got the the water-based instant chocolate, and it's just hell.
Oh, why don't you just drink coffee?
Oh,
Because like, no,
That's
hot chocolate has to be milk-based. Sorry, you can't do
Oh,
water-based.
oh, hang on a minute. Actually, if you've got the water-based stuff, try
Yeah.
the soy milk.
This stuff just straight up doesn't dissolve in milk.
Yeah, no,
I've tried.
Soy milk is weird.
Oh, really?
It's like cold coffee dissolves in it.
Oh my god, because we accidentally bought this instead of our usual stuff, and that might finally let me get rid of it now.
Yeah, seriously. So soy milk
right,
just takes
right.
the taste of anything that's in it, so you'll get like a really rich chocolatey taste.
Oh, I have
And-
no idea if my local corner shop even sells soy milk, but I'll find out.
If not,
and for today's extra content, how to make hot chocolate.
Hey.
Yeah.
And Kyle's promotion of soy milk.
Hey.
It had to come in at some point. We all know how much you love your soy.
I did. I don't
yeah.
know why. Like I did it just like to see what it's like.
Careful, you get the vegans
Soy boy.
haven't got you saying that it's theirs, not yours.
Oh yeah, I know, right? No, I just genuinely enjoy soy milk more than like regular milk. Like, I still drink regular milk, just like not as much because I prefer soy milk. Just have it in my coffees and stuff.
Oh, true soy boys only.
I'm sorry, I'm not a true soy boy.
Yeah, real soy boy hours over here.
I mean, I've definitely got enough testosterone. Like, if the myths about soy were true, I'd be happy because like I'd not have to shave like every other day. Like,
Yeah, just don't shave. Do what I do.
if I shave in the morning, I get 5 p.m. stubble.
Yeah, just do what I do. Don't shave.
I mean, same,
Roll
but that's
ahead.
I have a really shit razor.
Oh.
I can't be bothered to replace.
No, I mean, I can go
Go
straight
and do
down.
its razor.
I can go from like baby skin to like stubble in a day.
Again, I stress once more. Just grow a beard. It's so much easier.
No.
I can't say I've been a beard, but I can contest that it worked with my hair, so it'll probably work with your facial hair.
I don't like myself with a beard.
Like, just grow it out. You don't have to bother doing anything with it. I got my hair cut today for the first time in 3 years.
Heretic.
God.
Look, I needed a couple of inches off. I'm going to Spain.
So, for those of you who don't know, I'm the only one who has normal sized hair. Now you know. Anyway, on that, we're going to end. Goodbye. We will see you next week. Hopefully my computer doesn't catch fire over the weekend. That would be nice.
Yeah, you know, I'm really holding out for our like 2 or 3 dedicated viewers that'll come back, that'll still be here next time.
Oh, you think we've got dedicated viewers? That's funny.
Just stay safe, guys. Stay safe.
Like when the pilot.
We cannot afford to lose you. You're the only thing keeping this channel afloat.
Yeah.
Hey, goodbye, guys.
See you later.